Okay. All right. And we're live. Yeah.
Sorry. Turn it. I'm
hot. Not yet. We gotta wait for Corey. We're almost live. Doing whatever.
I am sweating my
balls
off down here, dude.
All right, there we go. Okay. Oh, are you good now?
Hey,
can you ready to join us?
Yeah, I guess so. Smart ass. This is why I drink.
How's it going, guys?
Hi.
Welcome.
Good Lord.
I know. I'm being a little difficult today, aren't I?
That's all right. I'm on edge today, so it's
I
cool.
am too. Are you on edge today? All right, good. You mellow us out.
Good. I need somebody to mellow me out because I just woke up just kind of like.
I'm a little feisty. I am a little feisty today.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but
I don't know
yeah,
it's fine. All right, so obviously we're not here alone today. We've got my really good friend Zach Bingaman, who super strong dude, power lifter, ex-military, super awesome guy. So kind of like you, started off as a client and became like a really good friend. So we'll talk about that. We'll kind of go into that as well. But welcome.
Yeah,
welcome to the bar.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah,
glad to have you here.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. So we're gonna start off with energy drink, a little different. I'm doing a little different today.
Yeah, we're going a little different. It was a really early morning. So
really, what time did you wake up?
It was probably 4:30.
Gross. Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, when we live in a zoo, we have like two cats, two dogs, a bearded dragon. In fact,
God, that's good.
And the cat woke us up. So
the cat sounds just like a baby crying.
Oh God, it's scary.
Just like I hear the cat whenever I bring Cubby here. I hear the cat, and I'm like, this damn cat.
Yeah, if I'm on a conference call or my wife's on a conference call, and that cat will be just mowing in the background. She's like, "You have a baby?" He's like, "No, it's the cat."
We just ignore the baby.
Yeah, right.
It's fine. It's cool.
It'll stop after a while.
Yeah. So a little bit different with the energy drink. Something a little stronger.
Yeah.
Hitting some rain today. I've got the orange dreamsicle, and it's really good.
I got the sour gummy worm. What are you having?
Sugar-free Rockstar.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are these sugar-free?
Yeah, these are sugar-free.
Oh, they are too. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about rain. I hope Ghost doesn't see this. Do you think they're going to cheat on us?
No.
I mean, do you think they're going to think we're cheating on them?
Oh God, no.
Yeah,
it's
it's always Ghost.
It's always a side chick. That's all it is.
Okay.
It's a side chick? It's not our main squeeze?
No. We're thinking about you, Ghost, the entire time.
Yeah, 100%.
Not what you think.
We're thinking about Ghost.
Thinking about you the whole time.
Yeah, so another thing we've got.
Oh,
hey,
koozies.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wicked Bearcast branded swag. So we're getting I'm really impressed at us. Like,
I'm impressed with me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm impressed with us. I wasn't going to say me, but us together. We're actually making progress, and actually we're always making progress. But I mean, we're organizationally,
which is a huge step.
This is a big step for us. Yeah. This is huge. This is like, we've kind of gotten there.
Oh no, we've admitted we've got a problem a long time ago.
So
until we started out the first episode, we have a problem.
Yeah. So anyway, we're bringing some swag together. We're getting stuff more and more organized. We've got a really cool tablecloth on the way. It's coming this week.
I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really nice. So that's cool. We got this. We got some stickers. We got what did we get?
Business cards.
Oh, we have business cards too. So yes,
we're getting all professional.
Yeah, and we're gonna have shirts coming soon, which is gonna be fun.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, man.
We can get that quick.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen before the end next week. So next week. So let's go. I'm just gonna say that next week. October 19th is next. Well, this isn't gonna come out. This is gonna come out after.
Yeah. So we will have been out at Customer Appreciation.
So if you came, thanks for joining. We were there and we had a really great time. I can almost guarantee you.
We will have had.
Yeah, we will have had an excellent time. This is hard.
We'll have had.
It's hard it's hard with the banking episodes because it's like you have to think ahead, right?
Yeah.
And we're not good at that.
Yeah.
No, we're barely hanging on to staying at the moment, let alone trying to think ahead to curate the past.
Yeah.
While acting like it's the present. Oh my God, I hurt myself just thinking about that.
Especially like a month from now, because this comes out like a month from now.
Holy crap. Yeah. Oh, wow. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
That's what you guys dress up.
It's not even Halloween yet.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
So yeah, cool. That's good.
So, all right. So you were a client of Andrew's. Okay. How long have y'all known each other?
Right at a year.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think next month will be a year. Or a month, 2
November,
months.
December.
Okay.
Something like that,
Yeah, something like that. So we met at
Been to the bar, right?
Ben the Bar. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So we met at Ben the Bar, and you were you judging or were you doing
Judging.
you were judging?
It was my first meet as a national judge.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't
So
know
you're a
that.
judge
Yeah.
as well. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, so
okay.
you
Cool.
for USPA. Yep. So
Nice.
he's USPA judge. He's also a meat director.
Okay.
Yeah. So for Louisiana to Florida.
Well, so good friend of mine, Reese Allamore, is the Louisiana State
Shout out to Reese.
state chair, and so
Really strong dude.
we kind of got our start judging with the guys, the state chair John Micah from Mississippi, and also Joe Keith, who are meat directors out there. And then so we started getting in that once he came the state chair, we started running meets, and then so we kind of basically any meet we run, they come help us. Any meet they run, we go help them, and so basically everywhere from like Louisiana to the Panhandle of Florida.
Okay.
It's kind of our area.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's like a conglomerate kind of thing. You guys all get together.
We do it all together, and then we've been real fortunate in the last few years. We've had nationals in Louisiana. We've had a high school nationals. We're about to do a collegiate nationals next year, and so USPA is starting to like pick up that we can do some pretty good,
Nice.
some pretty big meets.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been awesome.
Very cool. Nice.
Yeah, so yeah, we met Ben the Bar. He was judging, and we just kind of got to talking. And then your shoulder, because he also had a slight belly tear, the pec.
Oh, yeah, I had just done that.
Yeah, that was
like the day before.
yeah.
that's true.
So
It's gonna be a rough weekend.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah.
so we got to talking. And I kind of like pushed on his shoulder a little bit, and immediately felt that tendon was just way out.
Yeah.
So booked. I think we talked a little bit more, and then we booked a session, and I kind of popped it right back in.
Well, I think before we even did a session, man, like you we talked because I just started going out to Rise.
Yeah, right.
And like you stopped by one time after working at Cox, and like
That's right. You were doing deadlifts.
and I was doing deadlifts, and I was feeling terrible.
Yeah,
Everything
it
was gross. Like I was trying something new, and it just wasn't happening. And then he was like just asking questions, like, "Hey, did you injure this? Yeah. Did you do this? Yeah. Did you injure this? Yes." Like, so just like. Yeah, and then like that's when he started pressing. He's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "The tendon's supposed to be here, and then it's down here, and that's not good." And I'm like, probably.
So gave him a couple of cues, fixed the deadlift, made the deadlift feel really good. And I think you said it was like a month or two later, you're like, man, deads have never felt better.
Yeah, they were always like it was kind of like it was like a 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of with deadlifts.
Yeah.
It just felt like it's like I would figure something out, and then I'd like regress, and then figure something out, and so yeah, no, it definitely helped. Started feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
Nice.
At least more consistent.
Yeah.
Where like the progress was like more linear.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything, so.
Nice.
Yeah, so he ran my rehab program. We did, we did either 8 or 12 weeks of the rehab program.
Yeah.
And got the pec under control, got the shoulder under control, and then started getting into the actual lifting and numbers for bench. Like kind of worked out a program that worked for him, right? Because working around someone with injuries is you have to keep communication very high. You have to make sure that you're as a coach, you're listening to every single thing that they're telling you and making those small minor tweaks going on. And we tried several times trying to get back to, I have a unique approach to powerlifting. Kept trying to get back to it and didn't quite get into it because we're still working around stuff. So, and we're kind of there at that point kind of now, but your lifts are looking so good. Your deadlift, your conventional is moving so good.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, dude, conventional's looking really, he's normally a sumo puller, but the conventional looks good. The sumo looks good. He's a 700 plus squatter.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, we got your bench up to the 3. I think the one of the biggest goals was hitting the 350 bench with zero pain. We got that. We hit that.
Yeah.
Which was
Sounds so wonderful.
Yeah.
It sounds so good.
It is.
we got a lot of work to do on his shoulder pec.
Right about 3:45, I'm like, oh God, making stuff. So yeah.
Oh man, yeah, no, it is such a relief. Sometimes like I'll still have kind of the muscle memory of the pain.
Yeah.
And so like the first rep will come down, and you're just like
Anticipating it.
here it comes, and then you hit, and then like it doesn't. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can just do normal stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
It's so good.
Yeah. So it was good. That was a good meet. Well, it was a good meet for a lot of people. It wasn't a good meet for me. 400 pounds away from my total. God, stupid, hurting myself.
But what happened?
I got better.
Yeah.
Well, what happened before?
But what happened before that?
With what?
Why were you 400 pounds off your total?
Yeah.
Oh, the adductor?
Yeah.
Tore the adductor. Not just, well, let me rephrase that.
Well,
tore the adductor and broke my foot in the same move.
That might explain it.
God, so bad.
so wasn't that the power wasn't there?
The power was there in spades. I just, and you know what? And here's the thing, so we've talked about this a lot.
It's a whole lot of do it as I say, don't do it as I do.
So I could have powered through it. I could have powered through it, and I didn't.
Smart.
I didn't because it was already starting to tear again. And I felt it because I felt it pop. I felt it pop on my second squat, and that's why I called it. And then when I got to the deadlift, man, that's why I just lit up, dude. So yeah. So I didn't. I could have gone balls to the wall, but I didn't.
Right. Good call, and not Good call.
Good call. And on that note, I hurt myself yesterday.
Jesus. He calls me up and he goes, "Hey, bro, what's going on?" "Nothing. I was getting done with the gym." "Oh, cool. How was it, man?" "I don't know, man. I was doing squats. Squats were trash." It's like the muscle just right above the knee, man. Just felt a twinge and it just didn't feel right. Couldn't hit depth. It's just off. It's like, did you stop? Well, it's like, oh shit.
I did.
Eventually.
Eventually.
I did. So I didn't post. So okay.
Again, do as I say, not as I do.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. So the program it was a 3x3. It's not heavy. It was like 430. If the 3x3 at 430 should be.
What's the percentage was?
That should be.
It's not heavy for him.
Like 55%?
Yeah, but the RPE was like 9.5. It was just
really
grinding, man. It hurt. It was just hard. I don't know. Just it's not moving. The squats are not squatting. And because I'm doing the same percentage.
How many weeks are you into it?
3.
Okay, yeah.
I'm super. It's
way
like
too soon
I'm
for a deload.
80, like low 80%. Like I'm doing the same percentage on deadlifts. Remember that? Did you watch that clip I did? The goofy clip, right? That was a 4x3 at the same percentage as what my squats were, and they move.
They move good.
They moved. There was no. Yeah, it was almost like.
And bench is flying. Like bench is no problem. But that dude, the squat, I don't know. Anyway, so the program was 3x3 at that percentage, right into either a 2x3 or a 2x2 or a 3x2 pause squats. So 5-second pause squats at drop another 15%.
Huh.
And so I didn't do those.
Okay.
I could have.
That's good.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And then so the one after that is seated good mornings. I tried that because I'm like, it's posterior. It's, I'll be okay. But nope.
Yeah.
So I did one set.
You got to stabilize with those knees.
I know, and I tried to fix that by going a little wider and further out, but it's still just. So I racked it, and I didn't do it, but I did film that set, but it was. The clip was so long because I kept having to stop and adjust to okay, I can make this not hurt. No, it hurt.
Yeah.
But I finished the set. Anyway, whatever. I'm getting better.
That's good.
I called my coach. So I'm going to get into that in a second. I know we don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. God damn it. Okay. So coaches have coaches. I called my coach. Right when that happened, because my normal self, we'll say, would just suck it up and just do it, right? I call my coach, and he's like, stop, do that. And I'm like, okay, I trust you, I do that. So I listen to my coach, listen to your coach. If you have a coach, listen to your coach, because when it comes to clients, this is kind of going back to what they said, right? Do as I say, not as I do, because when it comes to yourself, you're a little more biased. You're a little more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, you're harder on yourself.
Yeah.
So you'll force yourself to grind through something.
Yes.
When normally you would be told to stop.
Yeah. And
I hear it all the time. Like, oh man, I just didn't like that last set, so I took it again.
Yeah. And then,
but then you do it.
Why did you take it?
Yeah.
No, but I'll do it for myself.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
But if I tell you, don't do it.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
again, it's like you said, that's why coaches have coaches.
And coaches have coaches. So that being said, Zach's also a coach. Team Battleborn. Yep.
Nice.
And your team's mainly Louisiana based.
Yeah.
But you have clients here though, don't you?
I personally don't.
Oh, okay.
Some of the other guys on the team do.
Okay, I think that might be what you.
We've got some people all over. We're a little smaller than we used to be. We used to have people like all over the U.S. and even in other countries because we were very like the guy who started it's a veteran, and we had a bunch of people that were in the military that were doing it. So so we still have a few people spread out, but it's mostly Louisiana, some in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hold that thought. And we're back. Okay. So now out of all your clients, and one thing I really wanted to talk about was you have a client that's is special needs. It's high functioning autistic. All right, we don't have to say his name or anything, but I really wanted to get your perspective on what working with him is like. And I know you and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
But I just kind of want to hear it, like what that is. So how did you meet him? How did you like start that relationship, and like how is that going?
Yeah. So how you and I started. Especially during the COVID era when there's nothing kind of really going on in Louisiana, like powerlifting meets were still allowed to go.
Oh wow.
And so we would show up, if we had 2 people competing at a meet, we'd show up and we'd have 15, 20 people from our team sitting there supporting them or handling, coaching.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which was phenomenal. It was a really, really good time, kind of golden era for Battleborn. Just
hell yeah.
We had so many people to help and everything like that, and it was kind of known, that if we were going to be at a meet, we would show up and there'd be a shit ton of people, and we'd
so badass.
We'd help out.
I love that.
And we knew all the local meet directors and everything like that, so we had a good relationship with them, and it was really cool.
Question, Chris, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Is all the Team Battleborn based out of Valhalla?
Not anymore.
Okay, Valhalla was his home gym.
Yeah, that's where it started. Yeah, the Valhalla Training Grounds in New Orleans.
Yeah. So they weren't all in that gym.
No, most were in that gym, but not all.
Okay.
And now it's the same thing now. There's some there, some at several other gyms around the area.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
All good. So we were at a meet, and so the client that I have now, he was there. It was one of his first meets. I can't remember. I don't believe it was his very first. But he basically had nobody to handle him or help or anything like that.
And how old was he at that point?
He was 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
22, so still a junior as far as USPA goes, and that's a strong kid. Obviously, had some really good numbers, but you could tell didn't really know what he was doing as far as especially as far as what he needed to do in order to give his openers and set himself up for success essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
Play the game.
Yeah, and so we were helping, and successful because we brought so many people. If we found people that either didn't have a coach or were they're trying to handle themselves or they were warming up by themselves, we'd help them out.
That's awesome.
And whether it was just load weights or actually start coaching them, in the middle, be hey, how did that look? Because they thought a lift might look super heavy. We're no, it looks like you got 10, 15 more kilos in you or whatever. So try to help coach them out, and that's basically what happened with him. And so after that, he kind of started talking to some of us, and I don't think it was that meet. It might have been the next meet that he did. He decided he wanted to join a team.
That's awesome.
And coach, and so and I had talked to him quite a bit, on social media and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I kind of the way Battleborn worked, especially at the time, was if someone came to the team, they would obviously if they wanted to work with someone specific, then they would work with someone specific.
Yeah.
If they didn't already have somebody in mind, they would kind of just whoever could take them on would, but I'd already because I had a relationship with him, I already volunteered to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
To take him on, and so so that's kind of how it got started.
How long was the span of time between that meet and when he officially was okay, I want to get a coach?
It was 3 or 4 months.
Okay, that's important given what because he's high functioning autistic, and that's an important kind of thing because people who if you're struggling with autistic, like change is hard, right, and the fact that he doesn't have a big support network, that he was able to say in his mind, go through the process of saying, okay, this is my new support network, right, being Battleborn, right, so that's awesome. That goes to show that like the kind of connection that you built with him. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, no, he was super. It's kind of funny. Like, I think it took our group because we have like some group chats like where we have like Battleborn has like a serious group chat where you post your lifts or if like you have a question or you want like some help like, hey, I did this. I can't see what I did wrong, but it felt heavy. Like, can someone see something? Yeah. And then we have another one that's just like the bullshit chat group. You post whatever you want in there. Yeah. And so he had kind of a hard time figuring out how to work in those, and it took the rest of the team some time to figure out how to interact and work with him. Yeah,
100%.
And how to. But he was super excited to be part of a team. But there was times where like he eventually he actually got kicked out of the group chat once.
Oh really?
Not like as a permanent thing, but just like because he kept like bumping against because in the serious chat you're not supposed to post like other stuff. And
he was confusing. Was it a confusion?
No, like he didn't think. So Reese was running the group chat, and basically Reese put out like kind of like a warning, like, hey guys, like let's lock this one down. Basically, and he made like someone had made a comment, and so he was like, okay, next person who does it gets kicked out of the group chat. And so he couldn't tell Reese was serious.
Oh, right? Those social cues,
Yeah, and so he made a joke back, and so got kicked out.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And so he reaches out to me, and he's like, what happened?
Yeah.
I was like, so I told him, I was like, dude, like, every once in a while, man, you gotta shut your mouth. And like, built a relationship with him where
he began to trust you.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll be a little more straightforward or like harsh with him.
Right. Yeah.
And like, dude, like sometimes, man, you just gotta shut up. Like, especially if you don't know. Like if it's if someone's saying, hey, everybody lock in, calm, stop talking so much or whatever, goofing around, like maybe take it serious. And then if it wasn't serious, like you can realize that later, but like that's the better reaction is to like assume they're serious.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh man, he's like, I knew Reese hated me.
Oh no!
And I was like,
that's
dude,
super common too. They're so hard on themselves. Yeah.
And so I had to talk with him. I was like, he said literally anybody. I was like, it could have been anybody else.
Correct.
He would have done the same exact thing. I was like, it just happened to be you.
Yeah.
I was like, 24 hours later, he's back in the chat. Like, nobody. He took it well. He learned his lesson. Like, he's been good. But it was just like, it was a very. Another, if you don't mind, another super.
No, go for it. Go
please.
Super.
Dude, it's yours, man.
Super hilarious.
Floor is yours.
Where
this is some good stories.
That's why I don't edit like my photo, like lifting videos. Like I don't do anything fancy. Like people always do these like edits and stuff like that. I know there's like you can get templates and whatever.
Yeah.
But I was just like, you know what?
Yeah, I don't. All my lifting stuff, I don't.
Yeah.
And I actually.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually and even on the trimming. I'll include this in even though it's on there. Even on the just one of those days.
Jesus, man. Swear to God.
You need some more rain.
No, it's staying there. I'm not paying it up. It's staying there.
So if you didn't realize that he dropped his phone, fuck it. So, but
wait, not to interrupt. Did you send me the video of lifters picking things up as they get older?
Yes.
It's like 45. You just see the guy go.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm right there. It's like
100%.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I also sent you the one about the old guy. It's like how every old powerlifter stands up, like screaming as he stands up. He does this. So okay. Anyway, I want to go back to. Oh God, I had a thought.
Sorry.
No. You're fine. Oh gosh, what was it? Anyway, okay. Yeah. So. So Reese, him and Reese
were being serious, and this is one time like they're both being serious.
Yeah.
So Reese, like I said, every once he'll come in and basically just try to hype everybody up, like get in the gym, get it. Everybody's, it's like everybody else has been going well, especially if somebody's got a meet coming up.
Yeah.
Like he'll mention that. And so basically just go out there and get it today. And so my client responded. He's like, you know what? He's like, today I wasn't feeling so good. But then I was sitting here taking a shit. I read your post. My stomach's been bothering me all day. You know what? I'm going to go out and get it. I'm going to go out and I'm going to hit these squats.
All right,
he's
bud.
Like, he's like, no matter what my stomach feels like. And like, he was just being serious. He was inspired.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for him.
It's just great. But everybody in the chat was like, what?
We need more people like him.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
God, that's great.
Yeah.
That would motivate the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That's great. I love
It's
that.
hilarious. But it's just another example of like where he was motivated so but like it doesn't occur to him like what it
Just the social.
what it looks like.
Yeah.
When he posts that.
Yeah.
Or he'll respond to people's, and again, super sweet kid, like super nice, like, but he'll like respond to like people's stuff with like heart eyes and like hearts and stuff like
he
that.
doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand like socially what those are normally used for.
Yeah.
And so he's using them essentially like
As-
the proper way.
As
Like,
love. Like he's putting love out there.
He's putting love out there, but it's just like
I love that.
it's like bro, don't make heart eyes at me.
You're making it weird, bro.
You love it. Don't deny
No,
it.
I mean it's great. Like
He's a cuddle buddy too.
Yeah,
he's a cuddler.
yeah, and again, he is a really good kid, and so it is great with it, but it does make for some really funny interactions.
So
like,
fun.
especially also
That's
like
awesome.
another time like I had sent him. So sometimes it's just easier to send him a video like or like explain
right.
and he asks a question like
Correct.
explain something.
It'd be so hard because it's so hard to read all that and be like, like all those things so overwhelming.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Even for me, that stuff.
And so one time I sent him something and he downloaded it and then posted it to his like Instagram page. Like as a
Your
story. My
clip.
video to him.
Yeah.
Which again, it wasn't anything like
Yeah.
big or whatever. It wasn't like
Did he tag you at least? I mean, it's publicity.
yeah,
I guess.
no, he did. Yeah, he's like, oh, coach.
This
sent me
is my coach.
Yeah.
That's
It's
great.
like,
All right.
what's your goofy ass doing?
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, like it's just so out of the blue, like something I would never have assumed he would even think about doing.
Yeah, right.
It's like
Yeah, it's a different animal, man. Even for trying to explain to people like how we think about certain things, like I just don't get it. And there are certain like social. Not saying that I'm the spectrum is wide, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm on the spectrum, but I'm not at near what that level is, right? I'm very high functioning, and I'm fine. I'm okay. But I do have my things and my moments, and like trying to explain and talk to people about how I see certain things or think about certain things or like how that comes to me, and like empathy is really hard. Empathy is so hard for me. I don't get it. I don't fully understand it. But that being said, I love hard. So I approach everything and all of my coaching stuff with love. And it's always through love. And then through that, I can, I use that as the filter for things coming at me, and I can empathize in that kind of way, right? Mm-hmm. But like when people tell me like certain complex social situations, I'm like, well, why didn't they just do this? I'm like, because that's not what you do. Like, that's what I would do. Like, well, you're wrong. So...
Oh God, I think I identify with that.
Yeah, I think you do.
Bitch.
I think you do.
Finding more and more wrong with me every passing day.
Well, right? It's a superpower.
Or finding more and more about me. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
I love that. I love that. Just that kind of motivation he was feeling. Like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. Yeah.
So
I was just gonna say because that just seems like something you and I would send to each other.
100%.
I'd be like,
I would send
bro, I was totally taking a shit. This was,
but I would
just
send
motivated the hell out of me. I'm ready to go.
But I would send you a picture of me sitting on the shit, sitting on the shitter with my
going,
thumb up, and then the next picture in that would be the shit itself. For you, bro.
I pushed it down.
Let's go squat. Better out than in.
What's funny is like because like some of that's great, like the hype or like what he gets motivated is great, but sometimes it's hard because like so as a coach, like you want him to be like hype and like proud and like of his list,
Yeah,
like, ready
right,
to go.
yeah.
But last year there was like a spate of time where, to be honest, like I still don't even know kind of what happened. Like we in the spring he hit a PR in a meet, like a 606 squat. Hit like
Talking about this past spring, or
like
okay,
2023
got it.
past spring.
Yeah.
Bench didn't hit a top bench, but got close. And then same with deadlift. Like had a really good meet.
Yeah.
Hit a PR total, PR on squat. And so
That's
I was
awesome.
Like, so I was like, okay, hey, we're going, and that that was one of the goals. He wanted to get a 600 squat because he'd been in like fives, like even before I met him. Like he just kind of got stuck. And then, but then from there, like part of it, he likes to compete, and so sometimes there's like not. I have to try to like tell him like, look, whenever you want to compete, I'll support you because it's your show, like,
But
you're paying. I'm like, but you can't really expect to get stronger if you're competing here and then like 6 weeks later you want to compete here.
Yeah.
Like, you might be able to maintain the same list, give or take, or correct some form issues.
Right.
But as far as like if you want to increase your total, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
And there was like, so through the rest of the year, like this kid's a 380 pound bencher. Like before I met him, like, he was already there.
yeah.
And we have yet to hit a 380 in a meet.
Wow.
And it's like, and he's done it in like prep and practice, and like I think part of it's just like learning how a meet goes, getting used to that and being prepared for that. But then part of it, like he all of his lifts went down.
It's always so in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he? Quick question. Did he ever do like a 380 in an SBD day for a training day or anything? Was he ever able to hit that?
Yeah, I think that's when he would hit that.
So he would do SBD days
Yeah.
and hit it, and then go to comp and do the same thing and not be able to hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And
It's so hard.
Was he doing it on command?
Yeah. Yeah, I go with commands, like with a big, like he's a pretty good pauser, like especially with the bench. Like that's the thing, is like his best lift has always been bench. And he can sit there and he's a sinker.
Yeah.
But he comes down and he can sink
And he hit, leaves it.
and rocket it up, and like it's like I don't get how he does it, but he's phenomenal. But it'll come meet day, like the one where he hit 606. Like I thought he was gonna hit at least 385 on his bench.
Yeah.
He goes out there in his second bench. He comes and he just hits here and then just held it for like a quarter of a second, which again was like, I was like,
he had to have had another intrusive thought come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
which is so easy.
So he took it again on his third, and he came in that time. So he still didn't get it, but he came and he hit and fought.
Oh, good.
And
He
then
grinded
lost
it.
So so he got better. So if he would have done that on a second one,
he would have had it. Yeah.
He might not have got to 385, but it would have been. So it was good because he overcame that. But then this last January we had another meet. And it was probably his worst by far, to be honest. Like, and part of it. So he just got his driver's license like 2 months ago.
Nice.
At 24.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other level of complexity. And that's a whole other, there's so many more things going into his head. Change is hard.
Well, so before that though, with some of these things, part of the problem is like, so he'd been relying on like family, like his brother specifically, to like take him to the meets and stuff like that. So this one in January, he literally showed up to the meet like 45 minutes before he was taking his first squat.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it wasn't necessarily his fault. Like, I mean, kind of to a degree he has some responsibility to it, but like because he can't drive himself, so he's waiting, and like so he had a time in his head that when he thought he needed to be there,
Correct.
and then when he like wanted to get there a little earlier, like his brother was, oh, you don't need to be there till this time.
Yeah,
or
should
whatever.
never have happened.
And so he shows up, and so he's kind of, and I'm like the flight in front of him, like I've got another client who's competing in the first flight, so like.
Yeah.
So I told him, so I gave him a quick call. I was like, dude, you got to go warm up. Like, I'm with this guy. Like, I can't be there. I was like, but we got some other people. Like, they're back there. Get with them. Start warming up. Then he can't find his belt.
Yeah.
And so I have no idea if it's still in the hotel, if it's in his brother's car. So he had to take his first squat without his belt.
Yeah.
Missed
And
it.
what was his opener?
It was like 5. I think we opened up like 5:56.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like
pretty solid.
Yeah, a pretty good one.
Yeah.
And he came close, but he missed it. But then I go, so I finally had, because I was, it's his flight, I was on him. So like I go start looking through his gear. His belt's right there in his bag. And it was just like, he was like had a suitcase, and it was one of those like zip ones.
Yeah.
He just didn't, and so like, obviously
Well, it was outside of his process.
It was outside of his process. He was flustered. He knew he was rushing. He knew he was late.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, been
And
there.
so so we got that. So he got his second squat, and then he got his third. I think he ended it with like 580, like at 584, which is not bad. But like again, it's those times where he's hit over 600. So like,
Yeah.
But then like his deadlift just kind of shit the bed and like hit like a low fives for his third.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he was contrast to me. Like I'm super frustrated because I don't know if I'm doing something wrong,
Right.
Or like, and I'm kind of frustrated at him for getting there late.
Dude, it all started. It all started. So it's a cascading effect that all started from that morning.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you could have done in that situation.
Right.
And him too. There's nothing he could have done
Right.
in that situation. It has to, like, in order to overcome that, for people like him, it has to be like days in advance of saying, okay, I have to hit these times and like this time to go to sleep. It has to be highly regimented. Otherwise, it's not gonna happen. His brother should never have done that.
Right.
Should never have done that. That messed him up the entire day. Because I guarantee it, he's on the platform and he's still thinking about
What time it is?
his belt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll be wearing his belt, and he'll still be thinking about not finding his belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So there's nothing that should never happen.
Yeah, and it is.
And he's gonna beat himself up. He is so bad about that.
Well, yeah. Well, it was kind of cool, but slash funny. There's like a contrast because like he was actually super happy.
Excuse me.
He was super happy to hit that deadlift.
Yeah.
That third because he had failed it like 3 weeks before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he was like, even though he's done a lot more, he was happy to hit it. I'm frustrated and not happy because like I think he's not where he needs to be. And I'm, trying to figure out how we get him back there.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah.
But he's over there being like, oh yeah, I killed it. I missed that like 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, how is he having a good time right now?
Yeah. You have to go with that.
Oh yeah, no,
you just have to go.
Like,
and it's so hard to do.
Yeah, because I don't want to crush his like enthusiasm about it.
Right.
But then but I also want to obviously in the moment didn't do it. But about a week later.
Oh right, perfect. Yeah.
I was like, all right, dude, like here's because he was talking about, oh man, next time, next meet I'm gonna hit this. I'm like, okay, look,
you're saying that
over the last like 9 months, your lifts have gone down, and like we need to figure something out. Like I need you, and then basically like that's great that you hit the lift you missed. That's like a good personal victory, but I was like, that is like 70 pounds under your max.
Wow.
Like,
that's big.
That's big.
Yeah.
There's something I need you to. And so now this year's been pretty good. He kind of was like plateaued a little bit through the spring, but he's actually been doing really, really well. Now he's competing in Worlds, or is it Worlds in whatever's in Las Vegas in November?
Yeah,
Worlds.
I think it's
Worlds.
Yeah.
Damn.
And so
That's badass.
So it'll be one of these. If he peaks how he should, we should get some pretty good numbers.
So he's what now? 24, 25? 24. Okay.
Yeah. So this is his first year, not in juniors. So like, so he's just straight open.
Dude, Open's another.
Wow.
Open's a different ballgame,
beast.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Strong dudes.
Yeah.
But he's super capable. What's his weight? Where's
275.
He's coming in at 275.
Yeah, he usually weighs in at like 260, 265.
Okay.
So he competes
All
in the 275.
275.
Because for people like that, the dieting aspect is really hard because they can't see it and they don't understand if they haven't gone, like, it's so hard to go through that process for them. And if they haven't gone through that process, they can't see or understand how what they're doing today is going to affect like a couple of weeks or months from now, right? So it's really tough.
Oh yeah. So like in that example, this wasn't necessarily based on nutrition, but like so he went to Worlds last year. About the same time.
Okay.
And so this was another one where like I was trying to play the fence of like trying to be happy for him, but also like it was frustrating because he for what he could have done, he did terribly. But he went 9 for 9.
Okay.
And he went for 9, like hit all his lifts, and
Who called the lifts? Who called the numbers?
We had some friends that were up there.
Okay,
That were,
all right. So someone from Battleborn.
Yeah, Well, it was an adjacent team, but another one from New Orleans.
Okay.
So people that he knew.
Okay.
And that had lifted with before, so they were able to I gave him some numbers, but I was like, hey, when in doubt, go talk to these folks.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's because they were judging, and then they also had their lifters lifting, and so he had some really good support there. But a couple days, it was the first time he'd ever flown. So it was up in Oregon.
Yeah.
So he goes up with his brother and his mom, and they get up there like 2 days early. I'm like, okay,
Still
good.
not enough time.
Well, it's better than the day before or something like that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it should have been like that Monday or Tuesday.
That would have been, but it was when his mom could take off and based on what they could do.
Right.
It was as early
no,
as
I get
they
it.
got
I
there.
get
Yeah.
it, but that's tough.
But then the day before,
Excuse me.
Yeah.
they drive down to California to go see the Sequoia National Forest or whatever. 18-hour round
No,
trip.
you can't
and
do.
then home.
You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Even if you're not
Yeah.
high functioning autistic, you shldn't do
Yeah,
that.
no.
Don't sit in a car for a day.
You can't be John Hack and do that and expect to perform
100% and expect great results. No,
Right.
you don't do that.
And so I didn't find that out until afterwards.
Whose idea was that?
Probably the mom.
I assume it was his mom, because it was I think their family, they took it as a mini vacation.
No, man.
And so,
Dude, I am frustrated.
yeah. Well, and the thing is to break through to not break through to him, but he was convinced that it was the plane ride because it was the first time he had ever flown.
Yeah, it was part of it.
So it was part of it,
Right.
but I had to be dude, no, the plane ride, sure, that was a big event, and
No, that was the drive.
everything. I was like, but dude, sitting on your butt for 18 hours, 48 hours out from competing. I was like, that's what killed you.
Yeah, unless you're used to it, you should not do that.
And that's what I find with him a lot of times. When he finds something, whether good or bad, he once he correlates to something, it's hard to
Correct.
If it's
Change
not
hard.
the correct thing,
Right.
Change is hard.
to get him to be okay, no, it's not that. It's
Right.
this.
Yep. Yeah, once he
So-
fixates, that's it. That's the reason. Mhm.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so he was the only one in his weight class, so he won.
Yeah.
So he got first. So he's world champion,
Yeah.
junior, 275.
Yeah.
And so it's I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But compared to what he could do,
Right.
it was an absolute shit day.
Yeah.
That was just like Bindabar. Yeah. So it was. So yeah. Funny about Bindabar is it was the same kind of thing, and I'm so in my head about it because I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm such a bag of shit right now. But it was me and another guy named Drew Herrera.
Okay.
You know Drew, right?
Yeah.
It was me and him, and he just smoked me on total. But I still got a medal. I'm
Yeah.
what the
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So the Iron Built games.
Yeah. So let's get into that because that's awesome. So the if you're not a power lifter, or even if you are, but you don't follow USPA or whatever, USPA had a really cool idea and they just executed it, and it went pretty good. I think.
Yeah, it went really good.
I wouldn't say without a hitch, but it went pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Where it was one meet technically, but it was all over the U.S. And it was. Do you know how many lifters were there total?
I think it was 20 meets.
Yeah, 20 locations.
Yeah, 20
So
individual locations.
it's one meet across the U.S. and then they did it at the same time, right, across the different time zones, but it was the same time, and it was hundreds. Hundreds of lifters.
I don't want to lie to you. I can't remember exactly, but it was several hundred.
Yeah, and I think we talked. I think you told me. I can't remember. But anyway,
yeah.
super cool. So you did that, and that was your location was in Mississippi.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
So Louisiana and Mississippi did this together, which was a 2-platform meet, and it was there's only 2 locations that they were letting do 2 platforms. And it was a place where Mississippi normally handles one of their meets, but because it was 2 platforms, it was insane.
Yeah.
There was so many people.
And we're back. Iron Belt.
Yeah, so it's super cool because again, it's like a normal meet. They do everything. They have drug tested, untested, all the different divisions and everything like that. And so at each location, they still treated it kind of medal wise, as a local meet. You still. So if you were the only one that showed up in your meet, you get first or whatever. You just compete with those people locally. But then they did have the competition nationally
Yeah.
to where you would be ranked against everybody else in your division.
That's so cool. It's such a cool concept. I really like that.
Yeah, and they had so this is where my little soapbox they had prize money, which was cool. So that was a big draw. But it was only for raw lifters.
I didn't know
not for
that.
like classic raw.
Okay.
Or anything like that.
Yeah. And that being said, real quick, that being said, he has to squat and reps because of his knee stuff, which we're going to get into in a little bit. So that's why it sucks for him.
Yeah. So I do classic raw no matter what. And there's at the meet that I was at, there was me and one other guy that were in that category. Mm-hmm. And I knew name's Azariah Pierce, super strong dude.
Yeah.
Like 20, close to 2,200 total. Like, and I've competed with him before, and I knew he was going to kill me, and which is all good. And I didn't have. So anyway, we were there. So there were only 2 of us, but there was 11 nationwide. And when just everybody in the open category, and so it was kind of funny because I personally didn't have the greatest day. So like I hit my opener on squats. It felt a little heavier than I would have liked. I hit my second. It was a grinder. I felt it was good.
Yeah.
Video looks good. They called me on depth for both sides, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I called my third because there was
save it.
there was no way. I had to drop my bench and my deadlift opener. I felt, I don't know, the only way I could describe it, my muscles just felt hollow. Yeah, it felt like I had no power.
Right. Yeah, which is so weird because you had been feeling that a couple of weeks or it was like a month and a half prior to that meet, and then all of a sudden it just stopped, and then you were like power output like crazy, and then the meat comes
and then the day of,
so weird, and I'm so I'm so sorry I could not go there. Right?
Yeah,
I wanted to be there for you so bad. I just with the baby and with all this stuff, I just couldn't make it. Dude.
No, in the end, it's a hobby, man. And thankful because again, it was in Mississippi. Like another reason why I did the Mississippi because Texas had an iron built one
in El Paso,
which was one. It was it was way out there, and then 2,
of all the places, El Paso, like not Dallas, not Houston,
Dallas,
not
Austin,
San Antonio,
Houston,
Austin. Like you chose El Paso.
Yeah, that was a little interesting. I don't know the reasoning.
Yeah.
I don't know if that maybe most of the entries were from there, or if
I don't know.
Before. I would assume they would have picked it beforehand.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah.
The only thing I can think of why they did that is because of like New Mexico and like maybe
the surrounding states.
Surrounding area, right?
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's.
And we're back.
Okay. So El Paso, the only reason I can think of why they would do El Paso is because like the surrounding areas, and they were like, okay.
There's a bigger draw there.
Maybe but I can't see there being a bigger draw, even the surrounding states, more than Dallas or Houston, right?
Yeah.
Especially in Houston, because you can bring everybody from Austin and Dallas come to Houston.
Not to mention, you could pull from Louisiana too, if there wasn't one.
Yes,
in Louisiana.
exactly.
So Oklahoma, or even Oklahoma would be
from Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because going from El Paso, I can't really think of anything. El Paso is a good 6 hours from Austin, at least 6 or 8 hours,
something like that. So I would say 6.
It's it's like 6 to 8 hours from San Antonio. So
it's 8 to 10 from here.
So probably 7 hours. Yeah. So I can't see how.
That's so weird.
That's weird.
It was a strange pick, and
whatever. I'm sure they made the decision,
and obviously Bobby, who's he's actually.
I know.
He's going to be done with Texas.
I know. We're going to talk about that in a second too.
Which is cool, but he's been doing it for a long time. So I assume
he knows what he's doing.
There was a good reason.
Yeah, I just outside looking in, that's weird.
It is a little baffling. But the cool thing about doing the Mississippi, Louisiana one was I knew 75% of the people.
Right. That's your turf. Yeah.
Yeah. So I go in I'm able to work in with other people, basically just jump in with another group and warm up and everything. The funny thing with squats always take so long to warm up, and there was my plan was to start warming up earlier.
Yeah.
But because there was so many people, and there was only X amount of they had the required number of platforms to warm up,
but still,
but it was just still insane.
And especially for you, it takes a while. It takes a long time to warm up to 700. It takes a while, especially with your process because of his knees and the situation he has to deal with. We have a very dedicated process.
And it's a little slow.
And it's a little slow, yeah. Were you able to wrap on any of the warm-ups? Because you needed to wrap on the last two, I think.
So right? I did wrap on the last two, but what I had to do. I wanted to take 3, but what I ended up having to do is like I wrapped at like 5:07 or something like that.
Okay.
And it felt great.
Yeah.
But I think I then jumped to like 6:30 something.
Yeah.
Because like just the time, there just wasn't enough time. There was too many people, and there were some big boys there. Like I mean, like Azariah was squatting close to 7. There was a few other guys squatting 7 or over. Like so, it was like as we were jumping, like I just couldn't take the time to like hit anything in between. So I just jumped to like 6:30, whatever, and then called it, and then rested for like because I was open at 6:60. So, so it was close enough. So it was like I mean. So there's things like that there, but I've like when I hit 7:01, like I did that same thing. I jumped like almost 100 pounds from my last warm up to my opener.
Yeah, oh, wow.
Because it took so long, and like my flight started, and I needed to do one more, like warm up, and it's like, and like granted, I was like 14th in the flight.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was like, but I'd rather rest.
Yeah.
And it worked out just fine. So like, so it happens, and you can overcome it, but it's just like it is trying to figure that process out, and it's. Especially when you're not feeling the greatest.
Right.
When you're feeling like things are a little heavier than they should be, it's just like, oh man.
Yeah.
But
I think we were ready for we were ready for the low 7s. That there was such a big span of time that you were having those like squat issues and the like hollow muscle feel. That kind of screwed us up, but I think you were like had that been the day, like a good day, like I think you would have been 7:15, 7:20. I think we would have PR'd.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think definitely when it's there, the power was there. Just like but what's funny about that? So even though personally I had like not the greatest day, is like when they were called like so we had to wait as like the different locations are finishing up. They're kind of like tallying who's where.
Right,
like, so they're like, hey, as of now, so and so's in 1st or 3rd place or whatever nationally, and. They got to Classic Raw, and like Azariah was 1st. He was good, and there was some other dude, some other location that was 2nd, and I was 3rd.
Oh,
and like Reese is reading them out, and we're like in the middle, like I just like what? So I was like,
that's a good feeling.
Because I was like, no way, like that's not. Yeah, so I ended up getting 3rd out of 11 nationally.
Bro, that's awesome, man. Other people might not have good days. That's why you never know. You never don't give up.
Exactly.
Don't give up. Then we had not our last guest, but we had another guest on that was, dude, you are worthy of your numbers. Go for it. Don't just give up.
You're not defined by those numbers.
Yeah.
You are worthy of winning. Keep pushing. Keep going.
100%. You're worthy of winning.
Yeah. So it was cool. It was good, but it was like again like kind of how I feel sometimes with like Paul when he's like super happy.
Yeah.
And I'm not. But then like I like both of those sides were in my head where I wasn't super happy with my personal numbers, but to get 3rd.
Yeah, bro.
Nationally was super cool.
Yeah. Who was wrapping you that meet?
I did.
You wrap yourself?
I wrap myself.
Well, I mean, kind of used to that in training, but still, it's
it's just like, and I knew like even Reese after the first one, Reese asked me, he's like, "Hey, dude, do you need me to wrap?" Because he was running.
I know he was super busy.
And so do you need me? I was like, dude, it's not the wraps. I was like,
it's the hips, it's the quads.
Like, so like it would have helped, but like would I have gotten better numbers? Yeah, that's a toss up.
Did you feel like you had valgus on that second lift on your second squat?
No, I don't feel. I do think I like over exaggerated the knees out eventually. Because it was such a grinder that I had enough time as it was going up to be like,
drive out.
Let's just push my knees out.
Okay, yeah.
And so like when I rewatched the video, it's like I push them out more than I normally do.
Yeah, it just took you out of groove. Yeah,
and it just and so
got it.
And so it worked. And again, I think it was a good squat. It was like 672 or 673. And like, that's a lift I've hit.
Oh yeah,
a ton of times. Yeah. And so it was just like it was pretty frustrating, like have it feel that heavy, and just
I know the feeling.
And then see the 2 res and just be like, okay, be like, well, if I try to take that to depth or like sink it, and I was like, there's no way I'm coming back up.
Yeah,
like with as hard as that was. So
yeah,
so it was like I was just trying to save for deadlift.
Just save it. Yeah, save it.
See.
Yeah, that's the strategy. Just save it for sure.
Yeah,
dude, that was a super cool meet. I really wanted to be a part of that, but just got too much going on, man. I got too much shit.
Brand new baby and everything.
Jeez. Yeah, but yeah. So Do you have a next meet planned up?
Yeah,
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's you might have mentioned it before, the unsanctioned meet they're doing between gyms.
Oh, you're gonna do that?
Okay.
You're doing it with us?
December 14th, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah. I didn't know you were doing it with. Okay, so you're doing it with us?
Well, I'm doing it with Iron City.
Oh, you are gonna be with Iron City. Okay.
Yeah. So it was funny, like as I'm having the shit day at the Iron Built games, Katie from Iron City reached out. She's like, "Hey, we're doing this meet. Do you want to compete?" And I was like, "Yes." I was like, I need a chance to do better.
That's so funny. Okay.
So I saw a meet, and I didn't realize it was like the same.
It's put on by. It's organized by us.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know it until later. Like, I was like, when she explained exactly what it was, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be cool.
I'm gonna be super fun.
I'm gonna do it, and we'll see if my legs. We'll see if my legs hold together.
I mean, it's an unsanctioned for fun.
But
you want to do well, but
I'm using it as an opportunity to kind of see if I can come back. If I can hit a 1500. I'll be happy with that. I'll be okay with that. Yeah. It's still not, it's not where I need to be, but it's, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. And I'm like, I've had to come to terms with that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of hard to do sometimes because you're, life kicks you in the nuts and you're like, oh, okay, I'm coming back. I'm coming right back where I was.
You gotta like mentally reset.
Yeah.
Because it just feels heavy, man.
What's the new?
Yeah. It's wild. This has never happened before in my life that my deads are better than my squat. That has never happened to me.
Yeah, still hasn't happened to me yet.
So weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
So, and bench, whatever.
Yeah.
Bench has always been very consistent for me.
That's how I feel. It's been pretty consistent. Even when it hasn't been the greatest, it's like it seems to be the most consistent.
Yeah. Cool. No, that's good. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Are we gonna? You're gonna set up a booth there, right?
We'll have a booth there. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll
cool.
There.
Yeah. I'm excited too because my buddy Nate Hill is going to compete on the Iron City team as well. So last time
Nate Hill.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. So last time he competed was the Pioneer Open.
Yeah, dude. Strong
2023.
Dude. Yeah, strong dude.
He just pulled 800. Oh, God. Conventional
And he's so lanky. He's like, how tall is he?
Sorry, Nate. Like 6'5"-ish?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that he's
Sorry if that's wrong.
He's over. I know he's well over 6.
Oh yeah.
But he's lanky, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm like he looks strong.
The dude has
stupid strong.
The dude has the biggest back out of like a
yeah.
See, like if you were to see him deadlift, like the first time I ever saw him deadlift at Iron City, I was like, I didn't say anything because he was moving a lot of weight. So if you're a big dude moving a lot of weight,
you're good.
Whatever you're doing is working for you, right?
Yeah.
But like, had that been anybody else moving like either less weight or they were smaller, I would have gone up and been like, hey, where does your back hurt right now?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't mind, like, you can tell me to fuck off if you want. But like, I guarantee your lower back hurts.
Yeah.
But it's just, he's like bulletproofed his back.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And the way he pulls, like, it's, you swear it's bad for him, but he's a phenomenal deadlifter for being as tall as he is, pulling conventional.
Yeah, exactly.
Being that tall and conventional too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He just squatted 675 raw.
Oh, he did? Good. Yeah.
Benches in the mid 4s.
He's just stupid. You see him, but like I said, you see him and you're like, oh, like he's you think he's a bodybuilder. And he's like, oh man, he looks like he's decently strong. Fuck, he's strong.
Well, it's hilarious too, because like that first time where he was deadlifting and I didn't say anything because and then I was going to deadlift after him. And so I hadn't really met him or talked to him before. It was just like the first time, but I'd made a joke I was like, oh, you can leave those plates there, so you didn't have to put them up because I'm only using. Well, then I go to start putting them on. This motherfucker was using the 100-pound plates.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Not the 45-pound.
Yeah.
And so me originally thinking, oh, that was like 3 plates and some change. No, that was like 600, 700, that he was repping out. And so I go back and look. I was like, you just casually throwing the hundreds around, huh? And he's like, oh yeah, I hate putting plates on and off. I'm like, okay.
Bad dude, man.
I was like, yeah,
oh, shit.
He's a bad dude. They got some strong dude. Iron City's got some strong people.
Where's Iron City at?
So it's
290 and what's that road?
So there's like Barker Cypress and Telge. It's right in between. Just not on the feeder road, but right behind it.
Right.
Yeah. On the north side.
Okay.
Yeah. So just not too far north of H-Town.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
like 5-6 minutes. Down
Yeah,
the road,
okay.
or up north.
Oh, well, that's really close.
Yeah, it's not
Those kind
far.
of gyms that close. That's-
Yeah, and it's and I've been
Surprising.
to Iron City a couple of times. I tried going to Iron City back in 2016, 2017. I think I had different owners then.
I think so. Yeah.
And I tried going there, and it was only because like it was when I had first started at HP, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting back. Like I'm ready to get back into this and get back into like really lifting. And we had just had Layla,
No.
and or we were just about to have Layla actually, and I went there, and it was just like. It's just not, you go to some gym, it's a great gym. I love Iron City, but just not me.
When
it's
it
not
didn't
me.
fit for you.
Yeah, and then I tried going back with Zach, and I walked in, it was like the same thing. I'm like, it's so dark.
It is. Yeah. I mean,
It's so dark. At night, it's so dark.
Yeah.
And like he sends me his videos of deadlifts, and I'm like, I mean, I can't really see.
Yeah, after
what's
seven
going on.
at 7 o'clock, the big white lights go off, and it's all like
It's so
all that's
dark
left is
in
like
there,
the purple,
yeah.
red, blue, green
Yeah,
lights.
I love the stuff they've done though. They really
Oh, yeah.
like
They've
they've
doubled
done
in
some
size.
construction and stuff, and they've like they put in like all this new shit. It's awesome, it's sweet. I kind of like. I keep having this inkling to like go back and like check it out and everything, but I really like H-Town. I'm so far I've been really happy with H-Town.
H-Town's cool.
Yeah, did you see they have me up on the thing now?
Yeah. No, I saw.
So that's cool. But yeah, so yeah, we're both gonna do that. So we're gonna be competing.
Yeah.
But he's not my competition. He's above that, so whatever. But yeah, they've got some strong dudes. We've got some strong dudes. It's gonna be fun. I think there's 8 gyms.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
a lot.
didn't know who all.
Well, who's all doing it? Do you know?
I don't have the full list, but I can get it. But I don't know.
Yeah, is Rise doing it?
I believe so.
Because like they've got some.
strong
They've got a lot of powerlifters out there. I haven't seen too many super strong dudes out there.
Yeah, they have a bunch of powerlifters. Yeah.
But yeah, I know they've got like a pretty big contingent of powerlifters.
And there used to be more, but they shifted more to like the general fitness kind of training because when it used to be raw, right?
Yeah.
It was a lot more, and then they switched to general fitness, and then they opened up that other new facility, and like people
Rise
started
barbell or whatever.
Yeah, and then people started coming back or whatever.
Okay.
But so H-Town Relentless is doing it.
Yeah.
Iron City. I have to get the full list. I don't know, but it's gonna be fun.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
December 14th.
14th. Yep, December 14th. Yeah. So if you're in the Houston area, come on by. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
I may not even do the 242.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of like while I'm coming back and while I'm feeling this, I kind of want to stay a little higher weight.
So you're going to do the 275?
Yeah.
What are they even doing? Like from what I was told, they're not even doing weight classes. They're just doing just your dots based on
thought they were.
whatever you weigh.
I thought they were. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Like that, at least that's what Katie told me. Like because she's kind of heading it up for the Iron City folks.
Yeah, I haven't gotten too deep into it. When I go to the gym, I'm there. Like I see Ryan, I see Natalie, and I like we chat for a second. But like every day I go to the gym, I've got the baby with me.
Yeah.
I've got meetings for work, and like I'm trying to like organize that, and it's in between her feeding schedule. So I'm in my thing, and then of course I see people that are there, and I chat it up, and I'm a talker, so 15.
Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Hey. 10 or 15 minutes will go by, and I'm like, oh crap, like I got to do my next lift. And I'm the kind of lifter that if it's in the program, it's getting done. So I'll run late. I'll run late to meetings for my job, so I can
Get that lift
get
in.
my lifting.
Nice.
Yeah, if
priorities.
it's
I like it.
in the program, it's in the program. You do the program, and again, I will, to my detriment, do I do that? But
Nice.
whatever, it is what it is. All right, cool. All right, we ready to move on to something else we've got super fun? Some fat boy shit.
Oh, God, which one? Oh, all right.
We'll do some fat boy shit. I'm excited about this.
All right.
So we had a little bit of a prelude to this. We had an episode. That's so interesting. We had an episode. I actually just finished editing it. It's coming out today. It'll come out tonight. But we were talking about food because we were both hungry and we're in a little bit of a deficit at that point. And
Not as of lately, though.
no, neither one of us. So let's talk about that. So we were talking about like cookies and stuff. So we're like, hey, let's do a cookie cook-off or a cookie
challenge.
Cookie challenge.
Like a taste
cookie
off,
off.
yeah.
Right. So we're gonna taste test some of this Fat Boy shit and say, oh, you got the double Nutter Butter.
That's the only one I can find.
Oh, I love Nutter Butters. They're so good. So we're gonna do these cookies and we're gonna kind of rate them. Let's do like a rate of, since we have 5, we'll do a rate 1 through 5,
right.
and then kind of see where
We'll
they
just
go.
put them in order.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So let's talk about our weight.
Oh God!
I'll
do
go
we really?
first. I'll go because
yeah,
I know
okay.
you're a little sensitive about it.
No. I'm really not.
Because you sounded like you were when you
No, I was. I think it was more along the lines of just kind of shock.
Yeah,
Because
it's
I really
shocking.
haven't done anything outside of what I've been doing.
Yeah,
I know my training, because of with work going on and everything else, has not been what it should be.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't think that I was in that much of a surplus as far as calories were concerned.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've put on like 10 pounds in the last month.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Probably 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just,
What's your weight?
268. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Yeah, because we were at 255 when you came back.
yeah, when I came back,
From Greece.
yeah, I was like 255, 256, something like that. Like tied for 255.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been about 12 pounds.
Yeah, man. It's wild, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the clothes don't feel tight. It actually feels a little tighter in the midsection, but
Yeah.
like
Everywhere else
waist,
you're good?
everything else is fine, which is
Yeah.
weird. So
Well-
I don't know. But I got my blood levels back.
Okay.
Estrogen was high. Was for one.
Not surprised.
The cortisol level was high.
Not surprised.
So
Yeah, send me your blood work.
but everything else looked good.
Yeah.
And actually bumped up the test levels.
Good.
So
Oh God. So we'll talk
about that later. Yeah.
But
So I was just like, okay, it's one. I need to get my programming dialed back in. Which, by the way, what you programmed for
That one
Wednesday,
day?
so much fun.
Yeah, right?
It was
It's
a lot
it's
of
good
fun.
program, yeah.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah, so him and another one of our buddies are going to start lifting together. So I'm programming for both of them, and there's going to be some power movements in there, but there's going to be a lot of pulling and a lot of hinging.
Yeah.
The pushing we're keeping to a minimum because of his shoulder and his pec, but we're going to compensate with that with other movements. So a lot of functional training, a lot of lot of
weighted
pulling,
cardio.
a lot of hinging, weighted cardio. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
So much fun.
Yeah, you're gonna
so much. It's stupid how much fun I had.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm gonna finish. I'm finishing that program today.
Awesome.
So you guys will get that, and then so y'all will both be ready to go. That's gonna be fun.
Awesome.
But
Yeah.
for the diet though,
Yeah.
we gotta. So
get
that's
that dialed
getting,
in.
I'm sending that for you today.
Okay.
So you'll get that today, and then he will get his today.
I'm gonna have to start that tomorrow.
Grocery shop.
Because I got to grocery shop, but also, if I get them done in time, I'm going to swing by the store, and you'll see why.
Okay, cool. And your deficit's going to be mild. It's going to be mild to medium. Nothing like the 1,200. So I had him in a 1,200 deficit before Greece.
That sucked.
So the reason, though,
But I
we
wanted to
found
do-
out
yeah.
we found out that he was going to Greece 6 weeks before you were going.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we want to shed some weight.
Yeah.
So he wanted to do 15 pounds.
Yeah. And I was well on my way.
Yeah, you were doing almost 3
yeah.
pounds a week. So I had him
Yeah.
at 1,200 deficit. He was right at about 3 pounds, 2.5, 3 pounds a week. And we're hitting it. And then he fell and busted his knee
Jacked
up.
up my knee.
And there was
Yeah.
construction going on in his kitchen. And it was all
It was
this whole
just
mess.
compound on,
Yeah. So it didn't quite hit the number that we
yeah,
did.
woe is me moments. But I mean, the nutrition was on point.
Yeah, you were doing really good.
I wasn't fatigued at all. I mean, there was hunger, but it wasn't anything. It wasn't manageable.
Yeah, your protocol was really good. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it kept you full. The
yeah.
Was keeping you full and keeping your minerals and everything up.
Damn, that damn pineapple, I swear, dude. Anytime I ate it, dude, I was like, I ate pineapple after a meal. I was starving afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so hungry. It was so bad. I'm just sitting there just chugging water. This was
Yeah,
bad.
so I had him on like similar like so you actually we kept you in phase 2 almost that whole time. So we never even graduated to phase 3. But the
Phase 2 is my favorite.
Yeah.
Phase 1 sucked.
phase 1's like
Phase 1 sucked so bad.
yeah, but yeah, so we can. Yeah, so we built all that stuff out.
Yeah.
Which was great. The deficit was super deep, so we're not going near that.
Okay.
We're not even close to that. Maybe 700. So half of where the half of the deficit.
Yeah, so 20. What? Because we were going to do 32.
Yeah, you're above 30. You're above 32 now.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I've got to redo the math. I think I can't. Actually, I think it was
probably what, 27?
I think I came. I think I have it. I have it in my.
Yeah.
I have it in your file. So I'll do that later. Anyway, so yeah, not so bad. But that being said, I'm up weight too because I did a little bit of a deficit to kind of reset my metabolism a little bit.
Yeah.
And reset my gut before I started this journey that I'm in now, which I'm in a surplus, and I'm up about 6 pounds. So I'm gaining about a pound and a half a week.
Are you wanting to?
Yeah, yeah, for healing. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm overeating definitely on purpose. My fats are crazy high.
Yeah.
I'm taking like some peptides and stuff, just trying to get back right. I will come out of this surplus here in the next couple of weeks. Now that this has happened though with my knee, I may push it out further just to heal.
Just to heal. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. Anyway, okay, let's do this. So let's do we have like paper towels or something?
No, but I got plates.
Ooh, you got plates.
Yeah, I always keep paper plates behind the bar.
All right, so we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So we'll do.
So
cookies?
originally, the plan was to have. We were gonna do the Coke Oreos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the original plan, along with the Nutter Butters.
Take two.
And then we were gonna do Mother's Oatmeal Iced Cookies.
Did he have a?
And I could not find the Mother's Oatmeal Ice anywhere. It's like they stopped making them.
Oh, wow.
The only thing I saw was the.
Oh, they're so good.
Was the the animal cookies, the circus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, dude, these are so soft. Holy crap.
Yeah. All right, so there's the s'more.
Oh, dude, that's so cool. And then these bad boys.
It's peanut butter. I'm all for it.
I'm feeling a little drunk.
Oh,
That's how excited I am.
Hold on. That being said, because I know.
Holy crap! These are huge.
Oh, geez, maybe just one.
Yeah, just one.
All right, and just in case.
Oh, there you go. Oh, nice. We don't have cups.
What do you even know where you are?
Oh, I'm at the bar. Oh,
Good Lord, man.
my lap keeps locking up. Oh, God. Dude. Oh, ow.
You're
God
right, that
damn.
was scary.
I
don't
think
even
we're
have any cups. Just like bottles of whiskey, we got cups and spades.
All right, let's put that in there.
All right, so.
Okay. All righty. Cool. All right, and let's get. Okay, so we're gonna do we're gonna do our own rating.
Okay.
Right. So I'll do my 1 through 5. You do yours. You do yours, and then we'll see how close we are.
All right. Anybody want milk?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
God, I love this fat boy shit. This is so fun. Where's your weight at right now? So I'm 258. You're 268.
Yep.
Where are you at?
250.
You're 250 right now? Okay, good. All right, thanks, sir.
And it's whole milk. Don't worry.
Perfect. I've been drinking skim.
Good God.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot that's wrong with that segment.
Yeah. So I got the skim. So 2 weeks
Oh.
ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I got the skim in anticipation for getting into my deficit.
Yeah.
But now this happened, so I'm like, now I'm just eating more peanut butter.
That's okay. Peanut butter's good.
Love peanut butter.
Peanut butter is the glue of the
Crunchy.
soul.
I love that. I love peanut butter.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go.
That's really good.
God, I love Nutter Butter. The double stuffed Nutter Butters are pretty badass, though. I'm having a hard time not dipping it in the milk.
Why? Why not just do it?
Because I'm reading the cookie.
Yeah.
If you dip it in the milk and you're...
Can't. Yeah.
Well.
I didn't realize we got a lot of peanut butter here.
Yeah. I was
Was that on
Like
purpose?
eating- No.
A little bit?
No. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a lot.
Wow, that's good. Mm-hmm. The Oreo peanut butter?
I like the peanut butter Oreo one.
Wow.
That actually.
I didn't think I was going to like that one that much.
Oh, this is soft.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, my dad used to get these all the time growing up, but he would get the ones that were just like,
Yeah, the mother's ones are like really hard.
That's what
yeah.
we were trying to find.
Yeah.
and it's like, it's not that they weren't good, but it's like, you had to like take your time.
You sit there and just soak them in milk for like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's good. All right. I have my list.
Yeah, I think I've got mine.
All right. All right. So we have our lists as I finish this delectable cookie. Drum roll, please. All right, Zach, you're up first. Number one.
Number one for me is the Chips Ahoy Hershey's s'mores.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Number one.
honestly, I think the Oreo peanut butter one.
Really?
Is number one for me, yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. You? Nutter butter?
No. The
Oh, the Reese's.
Reese's?
the Reese's Chips Ahoy.
All right.
I am so surprised by it. Nutter butter has been my cookie since I was a kid. I love Nutter Butters. So it's crazy that something beat that out. All right. So that's wild. All right, number two.
The oatmeal.
The oatmeal? Okay, so
Yeah.
the s'mores and oatmeal.
S'mores and oatmeal. Yeah.
Reese's Chips Ahoy is number 2 for me.
Okay, very nice. Nutter
Nutter butter. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the difference between how much I like that Chips Ahoy Reese's and the Nutter Butter. That's a big difference. Like it's pretty drastic. I was thinking they would be really close, but no, they're not, man. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, number three.
3 Oreos, peanut butter Oreos.
Okay.
Nutter butter.
Okay, fair. I got the mother, or not the mothers, but the oatmeal.
oatmeal-iced.
Yep. All right, 4.
Reese's Chips Ahoy.
Okay. God, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that that's not higher on your list.
Yeah, I'm not. To be honest, I'm not really a peanut butter guy.
Really?
You're a power lifter, and you're not a peanut butter guy.
Yeah.
I think you're the first on the
I don't think
planet.
I've ever heard that before.
Yeah, never.
To be honest, like it's not that I don't like the taste or whatever, but for me, peanut butter it's just dry, it is sticky, and it's like hard to chew. Like it just
Yeah,
feels like it comes up
steak.
my mouth. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I
I get
prefer
that.
not to
Yeah.
Interesting.
eat peanut butter.
I used to eat. Okay, so we'll go to that in a second.
What are we, 4?
4.
The oatmeal iced.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I was thinking that was gonna be a lot higher on your list.
Well, it's gone.
I think the reason why it's not higher on my list is because it's not the mother's
It's gone.
one.
Yeah,
It's gone.
His plate.
But I mean, it's not the mother's one. There's that
nostalgia
nostalgic behind it. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think because it's so soft, it
Yeah.
kind of ruins it a little
Ruins it,
for
yeah.
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the downplaying factor, which
All
is
right.
weird.
Mine's the Oreo. Mine's the Oreo peanut butter is number 4.
I don't like that one.
All right, so that means Nutter Butter's 5.
Nutter butter. Yeah.
Nutter Butter's last.
The s'more.
The s'mores is last for
Yeah.
you, and the s'mores is last for me.
Yeah.
So your number ones are number 5.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to, going back to the peanut butter thing, I used to sneak peanut butter, the jars of peanut butter in my room. Mm-hmm. I used to eat peanut butter by the jar. And like I would hide them under my bed so my mom wouldn't find out because I get in trouble because I'd always be eating peanut butter. God, dude, I love peanut butter.
How old were
Crunchy.
you?
7, 8.
Okay.
But-
Say if you were a teenager, we had different priorities at that age.
I was doing that up until teenager. I started when I was young.
You'd have found something totally different under my bed at that age.
Mine was always food. I wasn't really worried about much else. God, I've always eaten. I don't know. I've always had a fascination with food and different kinds of things. But yeah, I used to eat it by the jar. Like so and crunchy. So like Jif crunchy peanut butter is so good. It's got to be crunchy.
Crunchy is good.
It's got to be crunchy.
See, I would do bowls of peanut butter with honey. Mix it together. And just
Yeah.
give it a bowl.
Mhm. Yeah, I really liked the Peter Pan honey peanut butter.
I'd had that one.
Yeah, it was actually really good. Yeah, but I don't remember them having a crunchy option on that. So it always kind of held me back.
I wonder what that that Mike's Hot Honey would taste like
With the peanut butter, I bet that'd be really good.
That'd be pretty
Yeah.
good.
You know what we still need to do? We still need to do the peanut butter with the Welch's Ghost.
I mean, we could do that instead of
I bet
that.
the Nutter Butter would be good with the Ghost. Because it's just peanut butter on peanut butter. Peanut butter on peanut butter on peanut butter.
Wait,
Technically, there's
you
4
mean
peanut butters here.
Wait, are you talking about the? You're
Energy
talking about the. That would be that'd be grape.
That's what I said.
You said peanut butter on peanut butter on peanut butter.
Yeah, because there's 4. This is double stuffed peanut butter. So
Oh,
Welch's-
okay. I thought you were associating the Welch's was the peanut or the Ghost was peanut butter as well.
Nope, that's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do that with the cookie. I may have said it like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. My brain. It's
We
whatever.
could just
works.
we could get the screwball,
I forgot about the screwball
with the Welch's grape.
as a mixer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
It's always worth a shot.
yeah, we'll try that.
It's worth a shot.
Peanut butter whiskey with Welch's grape Ghost energy drink.
I'm sure it's probably
Delicious.
Oh, I'm sure it's probably.
Who knows? Oh, there was.
There's only one way to find out, honestly.
As soon as you put it in, it just curdles. It isn't even dairy.
That's not right.
Is that normal?
No. Nice. Okay, cool. No, that's fun. I like this. That's good, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a couple of minutes before we get to whiskey.
Yeah. Because I mean,
So,
I need like a palate cleanser. I need a palate cleanser of some kind. Let's see what I've
there's
got.
whole milk right here.
Well, no, that's. Yeah, I'm
Mix
not
that
gonna
with
do
the
whole
whiskey.
milk with whiskey. Mm.
One thing I do want to get with you on is your military stuff.
Okay.
So Zach's ex-military. You were a medevac, right? Yeah. So like helicopter stuff. Yeah. That's so cool.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
man.
Yeah.
So I want to get into that,
Yeah.
and then get into like some of the like mental health things that you deal with.
Okay.
Right? And we can get into like whatever deep you're comfortable getting into with that, because I think it's important for people to hear. So yeah, let's start with like going in the military.
Yeah. So I joined the military in 2007 originally. It was one of those ones where like I wasn't planning to at the time. I always like thought it'd be cool to join the army. Growing up, kind of like every little every boy does. But I'd actually just gotten married at 19. Don't do it.
At that age.
At that age.
Yeah.
At that age, yeah. And so, I was going to school at Baylor down in Waco, Texas, and then, now I guess up in Waco, Texas now. Had just gotten married, was working, and, was working at the mall, whatever I could fit in with my classes and stuff. And then,
So you were in school at that point.
I was in school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think sophomore year.
Yeah.
And
Because you graduated in 05, high school, right?
so I graduated,
Yeah.
high school 05. So I guess 2000. Yeah, this was like early 2007 when I was working there, and basically recruiter. It was a civilian recruiter because so of course I'm 19. I'm in a college town. Of course, like I've gotten emails on emails and calls from recruiters or whatever. Like, hey, join the military. And I'm just like, so because they all talked about like going active, like active duty. I was like, no. Like already doing what I'm doing. But then this guy, it's the same thing. He was a civilian recruiter, which they don't have civilian recruiters anymore. But at the time, I guess he was like one of the last ones or whatever.
Okay.
Gave the same pitch, and I told him the same thing. I was like, nah, man, I just got married. I'm in school. I don't want to go active. And he's like, well, what about the reserves? And I didn't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Because like nobody ever pitched that to me before, really. Like I'd always thought, growing up, like if I did it, I'd go active.
You're going,
I'd go like, I didn't know, I knew nothing about National Guard, Reserve, active, whatever. And so, he hooked me in a sense to at least come, hear some more, check it out. And then kind of just, it's one of those things where like the train just got rolling a lot faster than like I even really like thought. Like, so at one point where I was like I even called the recruiter. I was like, hey, like, can I take a moment? Like, he's like, dude, I've already sent your information in. He's like, you gotta go. Oh, wow. And like, which
you gotta be there Monday for your physical.
Which I then found out later that was a lie. But
really? He rushed you?
Wow.
Well, I mean, he didn't necessarily rush me. Like, he wasn't necessarily wrong to say like, hey, like, everything, the ball's rolling. But like, come to find out, like, because like when you go, so I went in and did the to MEPS, the military entrance processing station. You know, I took the ASVAB, you know, did all that, and like it was after that where it's kind of like, hey, like, next step is like, you know, swearing in basically.
Yeah.
But come to find out that actually you're swearing at MEPS really, unless it's changed now, it really doesn't mean anything.
Oh,
like you could literally, like, the day you're supposed to leave and go to basic training, you could just like not show up, and there's nothing they can do. Like,
wow.
It's not like legally binding.
Yeah, I thought it was.
No, once you get there, and then they do another one.
Oh, really?
Another like swearing. And like after that point, if you go off, you're AWOL. You're
interesting.
Yeah,
so the first one's just ceremonial, and
it's ceremonial. And I mean, it is like it's definitely ceremonial, but it's like your intent. Kind of like committing, you know, to a college or whatever. If you're playing D1 ball or something like that, like, you're committing, but like technically you can change it if you need to. It's frowned upon, but you know, that's allowed.
There's no legal repercussions.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I ended up going, and it's funny, like, besides that one, he never really like straight up lied to me, but there's definitely some things he just didn't tell me, because you always say
omission,
that, like, oh, my recruiter lied out of his ass.
Yeah,
you know?
so funny.
Yeah.
So like I got told, like, I had never taken an ASVAB before. I didn't even know what it was. And I know, like, in Texas, a lot of like public schools, like, recruiters will come in and like give the ASVAB to anybody who's interested.
Yeah.
And so like, I had no idea what it was. They sent me off to MEPS apparently to go take it, but they didn't tell me that's what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And so like they put us in a hotel that night. We show up the next morning. And like on that day before, they're like, hey, everybody who needs to take the ASVAB, get off the bus here, whatever. So like, I didn't, because I was like, you know, and then I show up 4:30 the next morning, and they're like, so where's your ASVAB paperwork? And I was like, my what? And they're like, oh yeah, you need your you need to take the ASVABs to get your ASVAB scores, find out what job you can get into and everything like that. So my recruiter had to come pick me up at like 6 o'clock from like Waco to Dallas. And I was
served him right for
I was
doing
like,
it,
this is your fault. I was like, guess who's got to come pick me up, dude?
Yeah.
And so I went in. So the next time I went in, did it, and but anyway, like, they tell you that you have to pick a reserve unit within 50 miles of your home address, which isn't wrong per se, but you can get a waiver almost immediately to go anywhere else as well, as long as you can get that unit to accept you, essentially, which most units aren't. They're not going to say no. Yeah. So when I initially went in, there was 2 units. There was a military intelligence unit and a chemical unit, or it's they call it chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, environmental. Yeah. So like kind of, you know, your disaster response folks, essentially. And the recruiting video for that looked a lot cooler than the military intelligence one. And so that's what I did. And then it turned out marketing makes a difference. Marketing's big. If you don't know, you are not immune to propaganda.
100%, especially as a 19-year-old kid going into a situation that you know nothing about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then you're wide open.
And then like everything, like, it turns out like all the cool shit that was in that video, chemical no longer did. Like, you get in, you find out like, oh yeah, we don't do that anymore.
That's so funny.
Like, cool. So this was a waste of time.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're in it.
But so I took a sabbatical, essentially like a year off from Baylor.
Okay. Yeah.
Where I was doing my undergrad at the time. Went and did basic training, advanced individual training, and then came back. I came back like at the very beginning of the spring semester. Just worked that spring semester, and then went back to school in the fall. Okay. So that's how it started. Yeah. Started out in the reserves there in Waco, Texas. And then
were you getting as the reserves, you get all the benefits of like the school stuff and GI Bill and
so at the time, so crazy enough at the time, like I got in right before they changed a lot of that stuff. So when I was in the reserves, they had what's called the Montgomery GI Bill for like in the reserves, and they would pay up to like they would pay some, like, but it was like $750 for a credit hour, which. Sorry, not per credit hour, but like almost like per semester. Like it's something insanely small to the point where I never used it at Baylor because it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah, that's
like,
nothing. Yeah, $750 a semester.
It was not my number might be wrong, but it
might cover a book.
It was bullshit. Yeah, it was like
a book. Yeah,
it was absolutely nothing. And so now, like obviously, like the longer you stay in, the more benefits you can kind of get. Especially like in the reserve, it's like they accrue different, like your benefits and time a little differently. And so there was some stuff. I mean, but you did the 1 weekend a month, the 2 weeks in the summer. And then you there were some benefits to it, but to be honest, like my unit was kind of like we were a detachment from a unit another reserve unit that was in El Paso. So we were kind of like the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
To where like there was one point because there was such a big push in 07, 08 in Iraq that all our gear went to Fort Hood.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
all the chemical stuff, the chemical gear, and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, we had no working vehicles. All we had was like our personal, like our M4 that was assigned to us and our gas mask.
Yeah, right.
That was it. So like we'd go into, like there's almost no training you could do. Like we'd go and do our 2 weekends out of the month.
Yeah.
Or 2 days out of the month.
And just do some drills and stuff.
Yeah, it was basically just bullshit. They call it hip pocket training, but just like there's only so many times you can teach people how to do land nav training on a table.
But you got really good at it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, no.
You read a topical map like nobody's business.
Well, so what's funny with that is like when I did join ROTC, like I'm like aced every single tabletop or practical test I ever did.
Yeah.
Like didn't just pass, like aced 100%.
Yeah.
The entire time. Like this retired sergeant major over the program who was a long range surveillance ranger.
Okay,
dropped into Panama, Grenada.
Oh, wow.
Like gave me a coin.
Badass. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because I never failed any. Like, and he was
awesome.
super surprised that an officer was wasn't going to fail land nav. But so to that point, it did help in some regards. But it's just like I would literally like do my homework from school. And stuff like that. Just because we didn't. We'd go to the range like twice a year. And those were the most fun weekends. Because you're like, okay, we actually get to go do something this time.
Yeah.
So kind of because of that, I got real tired of playing like weekend soldier.
Yeah, right.
If you're honest with yourself, you're not a soldier. Like I'm a student more than I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Soldier, but then like
2 weekends a month. Yeah.
But then I got to show up and for like 48 hours pretend that like this is my life.
Right.
And, blood and everything like that. And it's like, and there was some really good people in the unit, and there was some not so good people in the unit. Like I would, when I made it up to specialist, so like E4, like right before sergeant, I was the assistant unit armorer. And so when we would go to the range, like I know when we came back, I'd be busy in the arms room, like, inspecting people's weapons or whatever, just doing all that stuff that's necessary. So the night before we left the range, like I cleaned my own weapons, because I knew I wouldn't have time for that. But then we get there and like our platoon sergeant like is telling us everything we need to do. And so like, at the end, I tell her, I was like, hey, hey, Sergeant, like, I'm already done with that. Let me go. And like, she was making fun of me for like being ahead. Like she like made fun of me in front of the platoon for like having my shit done ahead of time so that I could go do my other job. And just
that's weird.
And just shit like it was just like, it was real like,
I
was like wouldn't you like be proud of that shit?
Like, talk about like,
that's what you're supposed to do.
Talk about breeding mediocrity.
And that's kind of what the unit was like. Again, there were some really good high-speed people. Like my team lead was the unit armorer, and so like we worked together. And then I actually worked with him on a ranch in McGregor, Texas. He had got me a job out there where he worked. It was super cool. And he was high-speed. He was good. And there was people like him in the unit, but because of like
just bad taste.
Yeah, some experiences like that. I was like, man, I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
And so Baylor at the time, so they've had an Air Force ROTC for forever.
Yeah.
They had just started an Army one.
Oh, okay.
Like the semester before. And so I thought, heck, like I'll just go talk to him because I thought maybe I can graduate school early and go to like the normal officer training, like the active duty officer, like try to go active duty and go through officer training just to get out of my reserve unit. Yeah. And they were like, oh, well, if you can give us 2 years, we can give you a full ride for the next 2 years. And I was like,
all right,
done. Like, I can do that because I was going to be there for 2 years anyway.
Yeah.
So
all right. Yeah. And you had already gone through all the bad shit. You just you were just signing your time at that point.
Exactly. And so that ended up being a really good
Yeah, that's cool.
turn.
It's a good incentive, yeah.
Yeah, and so we got out of the reserves, went and did that. And what was cool was like had that retired sergeant major who was like infantry, ranger dude, super badass and really really good with us like as like cadets, as like training us and trying to teach us how like the Army really was. And then the colonel that was over our program was an Apache pilot.
That's cool.
Which was super cool. So I got originally when I joined, I was like, man, I want to get away from this like chemical do nothing bullshit, like reserve stuff. I was like, I want to go infantry, eventually want to go special forces, want to like try to get somewhere where like I'm out from underneath the big Army umbrella. Somewhere like special. And so, but between them, what was cool is I got to learn from the sergeant major what life was like, not just like the cool shit, but like day-to-day life in garrison, out of garrison, like what that infantry life was like and what you were going to have to do in order to get where I wanted to go. And like, obviously I knew like, kind of going into it, like, of course it's going to be hard, and it's going to be a long journey, but then listen to him and then listen to the colonel talk about what it's like being an aviator. Like at the end of the day, I was like, man, this sounds like something I could like wake up every day and be like stoked to go do.
Hell yeah.
And so I started trying training that way. And so what's funny about the medevac world is you're not aviation, you're part of the medical service corps.
Oh yeah.
So you have to. So the way they do it, to try to be brief, but like you're competing against every cadet that graduates or commissions that year. So it's like you versus 6,000 other people.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And they rank you on an OML list 1 to 6,000.
Whoa,
like you're on a list. And, and so like the top, and so like number 1, he gets his first pick, whatever she gets his first pick, whatever they want to go do.
Okay.
And so certain branches are obviously more popular than others. It's like aviation, and then every branch has only a certain number of slots available.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And so, and then they close off half those slots. So like if the top 50% in the country fill, like say there's 100 slots open, they only open up 50 slots for those first 50%.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because they don't want like the top 10% all filling in one branch.
Correct.
Right. And then every other branch gets like
the
shit out of the stick.
Yeah.
So you got like, so you want to be real competitive. Fortunately, I was in the top 10%.
Nice.
And so I was able to get into the medical service corps. It was the second most competitive one, but then it was a roll of the dice because like I then had to submit a packet for a board to become a medevac pilot, and because that was the only way. You couldn't go aviation and then do it. You had to go medical service corps.
Oh, right. Okay.
And so, and their acceptance rate was about 30%. And so had they denied, then I would have had to be a medical service corps officer, which I didn't want to be. Like that would have been way down on my list.
Yeah.
I would have rather done something else.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was a risky thing.
Yeah. So it's taking a flip of the coin.
Yeah.
You either go really, really bad or really
high
not.
risk, high reward. Yeah.
Yeah. And so fortunately it went really well. And I had a good letter of recommendation for my colonel.
Which goes, I can only imagine how far that goes to.
Yeah. When he called me to tell me that I got it.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, he's like, you got it. He's like, man, I wouldn't tell too many people about it though. He's like, it's kind of like kissing your cousin. He's like, it feels good, but you don't want anybody to know about it. he's like, just let them know you're a pilot. I was like, okay. Yeah. So that's, so I commissioned in 2011.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So this is already 4 years later from when you started the reserves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I spent basically 2 years in the reserves and then
you gave them the 2 years
in the ROTC.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's cool is like,
now you had, does that mean when that happened, you had your undergrad then at that point?
when I commissioned, yeah.
You
By
did?
the time I commissioned, yeah.
Okay, so you were a commissioned officer when that happened.
Yeah.
So so whenever you were going through this whole process, you hadn't gotten your undergrad. You were really close.
Yeah. So I was still going to school.
Yeah, you were still in school.
Yeah.
So they were taking the risk of accepting you as an officer without you actually having the credentials of being an officer.
No. So going through the ROTC program. So like that was contingent. Like
that was
commissioning is contingent on you.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Graduating, doing what you need to do to graduate.
Got it.
So that those all happened at the same time.
Got it. And they would just terminate it if that didn't happen. They would have just terminated you.
Yeah, I mean you can
or whatever. They not terminate, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. If you decided like, hey, I'm just not going to school anymore. Then your entire trajectory would just change.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's
Like they'll delay you. Like if say like you fail a class and you need to take another semester. Or whatever,
Yeah.
Like you just stay a cadet.
Yeah.
You don't get a commission until the next year.
Right. Yeah.
Essentially.
Which sucks because you lose all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But
which
still,
sucks, but it still
you have the opportunity.
Gives you the opportunity. Exactly.
Yeah.
to go on
That's
active
wild.
duty. So.
Okay, so 2011 came in commission officer, fucking flying helicopter.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. It's cool shit.
Yeah, that's so cool. So where were you stationed?
So spent most of my time at Fort Carson in Colorado.
Okay, all right. And then
nice.
you did you see combat? Did you ever go see combat?
No, not like active.
Not you never went active in combat zone.
No.
Okay, all right. Your job, there was your whole job was pilot, or your job that it was kind of revolving thing. You did other things as well.
So as far as so my main job was flying.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way to put it. So we have warrant officers, like flight warrants, like their whole job is just to fly.
Yeah,
that is all they do.
correct. And I knew that, but that's not.
And so my job, technically my job, so my MOS, my military occupational specialty, was 67 Juliet Air Medical, officer. So that included flying plus officer duties as far as a section leader or a platoon leader, or whatever.
So you had delegation duties as well.
Yeah.
And this was,
Yeah. So
right.
So you'd have to fly and then take care of your platoon or your guys. Yeah.
All right. Cool. And then so you're doing all this, and then how long did you stay in that position?
So I got out in 2017. So I did that for 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
6 years. So 10 years total.
10 years total. Yep.
10 years. 10 years.
Yeah.
That's so badass.
It's a long time.
It's a long time, dude. It's a long time. 10 years military, and you spent 6 years flying helicopters. That's so cool. That's so badass. Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
So when did you get? So he also has an MBA.
Yep.
When did you go to get the MBA? Was that during that or immediately after?
So when I got after, pretty much immediately after.
Immediately after. Okay. Did you coming out? Were you ever? It's a very different life, right?
Yes.
The civilian life. Was there any anxiety or apprehension about that, or what was the? Let me ask you this first before we go back. What was the choice in getting out of the military?
So it's that's funny. So a lot of people when you. A lot of people that are either in the military or have been around, have family in the military. If I tell them I've been in 10 years, they're like, well, why didn't you stay in for 20? You're halfway there. And it's...
Well, yeah, I'm not asking
No,
that.
I know.
Okay,
I know. What I tell them is 10 years is a
long time.
long ass time. It's a decade, man.
Yeah.
And granted, I get a buddy of mine, he's at 15, 16 years. He's got basically he just switched duty stations. He's got one rotation left.
Yeah.
That man's going to be 42 years old with a pension.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge draw. I get it, but I had got to the point, which was good, but I was the last year, or not 9 months, but that I was in, my unit had half deployed, and so I was behind in the what they call the rear detachment, and so that because it's always funny. Always the higher ranks, when they're not deploying everybody, all the higher ranks decide, oh yeah, we're going. So they get to go.
Yeah.
And then they only took half the battalion with them. And so some of us stayed behind, and at that point I had been brought up to battalion level, and I was an assistant S3 or assistant operations officer before. When they left, I became the operations officer for our battalion.
Oh, right. Okay, got it.
And so there's only one guy higher than me at the time. Who was the interim battalion commander, but he was also the Bravo company commander, and so he was busy with which that's the heavy lift guys, that's the Chinooks, and they didn't deploy at all.
Okay,
so he was busy supporting all the other brigades and battalions because they were constantly requesting stuff because they were all getting ready to deploy. So I was essentially the highest ranking dude most of the times. In the battalion at the time. And so what that meant is I didn't get to fly hardly at all.
So what you love, the passion you got,
what I wanted to do, And so there was a good, what they call a key developmental position.
For sure, hell yeah.
Yeah, so for your career is really good.
Yeah,
right?
man.
But for looking at the next 10 years, this is what I'm going to be doing.
Versus
getting to fly. And and so it was just it was a good time. It was 10 years. The unit got back. It was just everything was in flux. People were moving, and so it was a really good time to get out. and then try something else.
Yeah, it's no different than moving jobs.
Yeah.
You get you're when it's ready to go, it's right. Because that's what, at the end of the day, it's what military is. Military is a job, right?
Yeah,
It's
for
a
sure.
it is a lifestyle for sure, definitely. But it's when you break it down as bare core, it's a job, and that's your choice. And that's awesome. Oh yeah, I didn't know. I don't think you had ever told me that. So that's interesting. Okay, so you're like, okay, it's time to leave, start something new. Going into the civilian life, like that question, was there any anxiety? Was there apprehension? Was like, how did you feel about that?
I mean, a little bit. Not it. The anxiety and apprehension really didn't hit for a while because I knew I was going into the schoolhouse, like going back to school.
Correct. Yeah.
So like that
something
was
you were already comfortable with.
Yeah, something I'd already done before. Something I'd even done like it felt the same. It took a while to hit that I wasn't ever going back in the military, even though like obviously I knew that.
Yeah.
Because there've been when I went.
It's been a decade.
Yeah. Well, and when I went to flight school, like that's the schoolhouse. Like I'm in the schoolhouse when I'm in flight school.
Yeah.
Like I was in there for a long time, but then you're eventually getting back to your unit, know, or whatever. And so going get my MBA, it was like, okay, yeah, here I am in the school learning stuff, but then eventually you kind of realize, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
Were you in Colorado at that point still?
no, I was here in Texas.
You were here in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I got out, I had about a month before school started. I went and visited some family up north, and then stayed with a buddy of mine up in Arlington for a few weeks, and then started at A&M.
Okay.
And so like that was, so in one sense it was a really good transition because it was like something I was super familiar with.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It wasn't like just all of a sudden, oh hey, I need to find a job. Like I gotta, and so did that. And there was 9 other military people in the class. My buddy Will, he was still active duty, but everybody else was out. So they were going through the same thing, so we got to hang out quite a bit. So kind of had like, in a sense, like a support group
Yeah.
in that way. And so it really wasn't towards the end, honestly, really the end of the MBA program was like a year and a half. And it wasn't until the end of that it kind of was like, started, like as you're applying to jobs and stuff like that, sticking that like, okay, like this is the new life.
Yeah.
And then to be honest, like most of it's not even anxiety, but like the realization that this is going to take a while to try to fit in doesn't hit till like I started my actual corporate job.
Yeah.
Because like, you have to like explain to people like, hey, look, I know I'm like at the time, like I know I'm like 33, but this is my first corporate America.
Yeah.
So this is so different than like I remember one meeting probably like 4 to 6 weeks after I'd started. Like I was being put in charge of this like some new process that we were doing. So oil and gas. So I was in charge of like moving material like on and offshore to like our drilling platforms and stuff. And for the stuff that could be like repaired, they would set it back on shore. Then we'd set it back off, and they were coming up with a new program for it. But they needed like a process for it, and they needed like some higher ups to make a decision on like exactly how we were going to do that. Right. So we had this meeting, and we talk for like an hour, then we leave, and nobody made a decision.
Ah, yeah.
And like,
welcome to corporate America.
Yeah.
I asked my boss, and I'm like, hey, was everybody there that needed to be there to make the decision? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, then what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, so because I'm supposed to be in charge of this. Like, like, what am I doing? And he's like, well, they haven't decided yet. They want to like talk to more people. I'm like, about what? like these are the decision makers, you know? And like, and that was one aspect. And
Jesus.
Yeah, it was just fortunately there was like a group where they did aviation assurance. They weren't pilots. Well, they were all former pilots. They were all military, and but they did like all the aviation assurance for our company.
Yeah.
Where like they like one guy, like if we're going to do some new work down in South America or whatever, they would find like an aviation company, and he would go basically get them up to speed to like the company's standards. Mm-hmm. But he was like a retired colonel from the Marines, and so like I went and like I kind of cornered him, and I was like, bro,
is this the way it goes?
I was like, what is going on? I was like you got to talk me down. And he's like, chill out. He's like, as slow as we think the military moves, he's like, they move so much slower.
Yeah, dude.
And he's like, if you keep, he's like, you gotta adapt to that or like slow down. He's like, or you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
It's like either you're gonna leave, which again, if he's like, if that's, you figure out that this isn't for you, okay, like that's no big. He's like, or you're gonna get fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna realize you don't fit And he's like, so, again, either ones can be okay, but you got to figure out like, okay, are you going to try to stick in? And if you are, you got to figure it out. You got to adapt.
Yeah.
And that has been I'm still not done. It's been a long process, and I just hit 5 years. In that company. So,
Dude, I'm still struggling with that.
Yeah,
like corporate America.
It's
it's
sure.
so frustrating.
It's a frustrating and mind-numbingly painful process to constantly be on a hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Hurry up and wait.
Oh
Yes.
God, it's just
And that you can't. I used to have some rank, so I could, if somebody was fucking up or taking a long time, like, or just doing, I don't know, I could walk in and be like, "Fuck's going on?" Like,
Stop, do this.
Fix your shit.
Yeah.
Do this. It needs to get done by this time.
Yeah,
If it doesn't,
yeah.
we're gonna have more words. Like, I can't do that.
Exactly.
Like,
No.
like I was,
You got to beat around the bush, and you got to be nice.
Oh, you got to use corporate jargon, and you got to be HR
Give them
compliant.
6 weeks.
you just gotta, and like we just had one of my hats at work is like I'm in charge of our freight forwarding in the U.S. and Canada, and we had an audit where Deloitte, consulting company comes in, and they it was supposed to take a month. Took 9.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's fast.
Yeah, and when they got done, they were like, "Here's our recommendations," and it was very obvious that they didn't like, and no fault to them, but they obviously didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah, for sure.
But then the company, our supplier, or that was doing the freight forwarding for us, they go through and because basically Deloitte was like, hey, they probably owe you this much money, and it was like $17 million, and we're like, we know that's not the case. That's an absurd amount of money.
Yeah.
So the other company, they went through it and they came back and they're like, oh yeah, we think we owe you like $30,000, like
30,000.
Yeah.
17 million to 30,000.
Which to be honest we figured was
Probably closer.
Was probably closer.
Okay, yeah.
So then,
17 million.
So close to getting so much more.
Yeah, but then they asked me to look through it and go over it. And I was like, I'm not an auditor.
Yeah,
right? I don't have no experience in this. Like, so I'm in contracts and procurement. Like, I do the negotiations on the contracts, whatever. Like with the day-to-day business, I don't. But then it ends up getting handed to me, and so like in like a week, I get it done, and I'm able to prove that they owe us $266,000.
Yeah.
And so
9 months.
Yeah, 9 months. And
a company that's what they do.
Yeah.
And experts, he did in a week.
Yeah. And fortunately I was able to actually give some feedback to some higher ups at my company for that company.
Yeah, right.
But it's, you still have to be like
HR.
But I was able to be like, look, they, in my opinion,
these are the facts.
Complete lack attention to detail.
Yeah.
But it's like they don't care. Like their record keeping system is atrocious.
Yeah. They're just taking your money.
There's like multiple times where like I asked for like certain things, and they're like, oh yeah, we have them. And then they would show up, they don't have them. Like, so like I literally went to their office for a day and sat and like, show me this.
Yeah.
And they have it.
Yeah.
They eventually showed it to me. That's how I was able to prove certain
right,
things.
exactly.
Like, it's taking you this long.
Yeah.
Like that,
Yep.
As messed up as the Army is, and as like jumbled around, like that would never happen.
Exactly.
Because it wouldn't take that long.
Correct.
I know some people, if they're watching, they might be laughing at so there probably is some things that have taken that long, but it's just like,
well, there's
a more direct route.
There's some military things, and especially in procurement, that like stuff that I deal with, and it takes
a long time. Yeah.
I'm talking about like for capital equipment, for capital equipment purchases through suppliers.
Yeah.
Bro, military, come on. Does not a 6 month sales process turns into a year and a half. Like, doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
But no, I know, I get it. There's a lot of things that has to go through, and there's that's one reason why it takes so long, because it has so many things to go through, but it's at least very organized and set.
And that's good. And that's one. So my boss's boss is he's a retired Navy.
Yeah, right.
And he was a submariner, worked on submarine captain, and so, but I've talked to him about like that. The thing about the military, at least, even if it takes a long time, there's a process. There's a process, and you know exactly where you are.
It's been written down. It's been documented. There's SOP.
And where technically there is on the corporate,
but nobody
side,
does
but
it.
Either nobody follows or nobody knows what it is, or everybody has their own way of doing it.
Yeah, it's sitting in a file cabinet from 1970s.
So you're kind of just, for the most part, left alone on your own. to like just.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
And if it works, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing about that too, on the same kind of note, is that like, and I haven't been in the military, so I don't know firsthand. But from people like Zach, and people that I do know, it sounds like this is the case. Is that in the civilian world, it's so easy to just fly under the radar and just skate by, right?
Oh, God.
Military, you cannot do that. You have a job.
Yeah.
You do that job, and there are eyes on you to do that job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you may be able to escape for a little bit, but they have what's called up or out, where you literally and that's part of the kind of cool process. Like, so if you come in as a second lieutenant officer, like you're expected to stay as a second lieutenant X amount of time. You're eligible for promotion here.
Yeah.
And then you could stay as a second lieutenant for a little bit longer, but then you got to promote to first.
Yeah.
And so that's the same with every rank.
Gosh.
And it gets to the point where if you get to your max time and you either can't promote or won't, then you get kicked out.
Yeah.
You're out.
Exactly. In civilian world,
Yeah. You can stay for forever.
you can stay for forever.
Oh God! And some of those just fail up. I don't know how.
Oh,
but they fail
that's
up,
another
and
thing.
it
But that
drives
happens in the
me
military
insane.
too, though. That happens.
That's
Because there's some. I've talked to some people that have had some terrible experiences with just completely inept superiors in the military, and like there's no reason why they should be running anything. But they do because they
So
went through that
basically,
process.
nobody's alone.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I still think it's better. I still think it's a better.
I mean, right place, right time happens anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
You may be the worst possible
Or
choice,
wrong.
but you were in the right place at the right time.
Or it's just who you know.
True. Very, absolutely. True.
That happens too. But that happens anywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
All right, before we get any far deeper in there, let's get to the whiskey. So
All right.
let's keep going with that story,
Yeah.
but let's do it over a glass of whiskey.
Okay,
you
so
cool with
do you have a preference? So we have Angel's Envy and Oak and Eden with us
that? All right,
today.
here we go. Here, you. This is all you.
Okay,
Corey.
so I will put those in front of you, and I will let
We let our guests,
the guest make that choice.
and let's do something with these here.
Let's do Oak and Eden.
You're gonna do Oak and Eden? All right.
Both look and sound.
Do we have peasant ice or do we have real ice?
I've got ice.
So he keeps doing like just the regular like bullshit ice that comes out of the fridge. I just call it peasant ice. But he has these really nice whiskey balls. And we're back. All right. So magically, the bar is clean and we have whiskey in our glasses. So that was amazing. That was like just kind of a stab of the finger that happened.
It's Halloween time, so magic.
Oh yeah, spooky. Yeah, man. All right. So what are we working with here?
All right, so
Corey?
what we have here is Oak and Eden.
Oak and Eden. This one right here.
That's it.
Okay. Can I smell it out of the bottle?
Yeah, go
Ooh,
for
and it comes with the oak.
Yeah, it's got the oak. It's got the
core in it.
yeah.
The barrel core.
Oh, nice. Okay, I didn't even see that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably picking up it's real heavy forward with a caramel smell. I
very strong with the caramel. Yes.
don't know if you want to.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I
So I want to. I just, and the reason why I don't want to do it from the bottle, I wanted to smell it first from the bottle before I got it with the ice because it changes.
yeah.
So that would be great with cigars.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really.
It's a very affordable bottle. It's roughly $44 a bottle.
It smells amazing.
Yeah, very heavy caramel forward, kind of hint of a cinnamon, kind of a candied, almost like a creme brulee kind of.
Yeah, I could get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's excellent on the nose. It's
Yeah. And you get a slight hint of the char from the oak barrel.
you
I
know
think
the
it's probably from the-
caramel. Yeah, I think it's from that. The caramel comes through so strong.
It's very caramel forward.
That's beautiful. Cheers.
Slancha.
Cheers.
Still very heavy caramel on the tongue.
Yeah. It's got a lot of body to it.
Yeah. You definitely have a little bit more ethanol.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't hit. Yes, but it doesn't hit.
It's kind of it's a steady burn. It's
I hope
not.
this mic doesn't pick up how much this fucking chair squeaks.
Oh, it's probably picking
It's
it up.
so loud.
I know. We need to get new chairs.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
You're good. Go,
No, but
go
I mean,
ahead.
it's just it's a sweet bourbon.
Yeah.
Again, very caramel forward, hint of vanilla. I get a taste of vanilla. Again, kind of a candied sugar taste.
You know what I get?
But it's weird.
You know what I'm picking up a lot of, dude?
What's that?
Candied apple.
Yeah. Yeah, like that candied sugar.
Yeah, but apple. I'm getting an apple. Like candied apples, but very specifically. Candied caramel apple.
That's just because it's October.
I didn't want to make it weird, right? Because just because it's the time of year.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But
You know what I don't get?
what?
Banana.
Thank God.
Hates banana.
And it sucks too because I've been dying to get this bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, we
Frank
have it up here. Oh,
That Frank Sinatra Select.
where's
okay.
the box? Oh, we'll do it
it's-
later.
Yeah. But
That episode's coming out next.
yeah.
So you'll
So
see
that
it.
bottle is a specific blend that Sinatra had worked with Jack Daniels on.
Yeah, so him and Jack Daniels were like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So
like best
in
buds.
fact, I think it was Jackie Gleason that got him into Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so a buddy of mine told me about it, and I had read about it, and I was just like, I want to try this bottle. I've sought after it. It's if you pick it up around here in the States, it's like 160, anywhere between $160 to $200 a bottle. And I found it at a duty-free shop in London for half the cost.
Oh, shit.
So I was like, sold to the American.
Yeah.
So, brought it back when I came back from Greece, and, it's like, all right, we got to crack this open and try it out.
so good.
And
But
it's
even the
good.
unboxing
It was,
experience.
I mean, just the whole experience of it is
Yeah,
just,
it was amazing.
yeah.
Cool.
But cracked it open and I'm drinking it, and I'm like, son of a bitch. He goes, do you taste banana? And I go, yes. I fucking hate banana.
He hates bananas.
But here's the thing is that it's not so overpowering to where
It's
it ruins
more
the
of a banana
experience.
bread.
But it's like a banana nut bread.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
To
it's
where-
got like pecans. It's got flavors of pecans. in it.
Yeah.
It's super good.
It's really good. It's really light.
Excellent.
It's very, very enjoyable.
It's probably the most complex whiskey I've ever had. But it's all just so beautifully blended together.
Nice.
No, just
And I've had. I'm not saying that's
just wait. There's more.
Bro,
to come. There's more to come.
I am so excited for
Yeah.
whatever. This is excellent.
This is fantastic.
I'm really enjoying this. This is so I've seen them all over Instagram, and I think I followed them from a podcast page. But it's this is like it's super warm. It doesn't burn. There's no burn, but it's super warm, and it's got a thicker kind of body to it, and the caramel is fantastic. The vanilla is great.
It's almost like
I'm not getting heavy char. There's a
I get
little bit of cinnamon.
a little bit of cinnamon, but it's at the end.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
cinnamon's at the
I
end.
think this is the first whiskey we actually fully agree on the profile on.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
only because I'm learning more. Because he knows so much more than I do. I don't know
Oh,
shit.
no, I don't know
I know
anything.
so little about it.
I know what I like.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I can smell the caramel and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's. I try to
Yeah, that's excellent, man. That
when I
is so
tried
good.
a whiskey like this, I'll try to. Normally, we would want to try it neat to where we don't have it on ice, but
Right.
putting it on ice helps kind of mellow it out, and it actually helps bring out the bouquet of
okay.
not only on the nose but on the palate as well.
So you've been in the corporate world now for 8 years.
5 years.
5. Oh yeah, because it was after the Masters.
Yeah, after the
correct.
Masters,
Yeah.
yeah.
So after the Masters, so 5 years. How, even to this day, do you miss the structure and everything of the military? Like even now, or are you like, okay, I really
Are
like
you
this
fully
world?
acclimated to corporate America now?
So definitely not fully acclimated. The one thing I do like about corporate America, at least especially with the company I work for, is the work-life balance is insane.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
It's really good. I've been fortunate. I've been on some really good teams with some really good bosses where like they're very chill and easy for the most part about just anything. Like you gotta go do stuff. It's all good. Especially I mean COVID hit and everything like that, so everybody's working from home and all that stuff anyway. But
Right.
but I really really miss doing my job in the Army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss that. Like there's
You mean the flying?
The flying, yeah, and specifically the meta,
Yeah,
like flying,
right,
obviously,
yeah.
but the meta.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was making it clear that not when you were running the bullshit.
No, not the rest of the stuff. Because all that's like, yeah, because you do that anywhere, like you know,
right.
You know, any sort of like leadership or type stuff. Like you can
Damn,
find
that's
anywhere.
good.
But yeah, no, I've actually it's been on my mind a lot, to be honest, recently, of like trying to figure out like if this is where I'm supposed to stay, what I'm supposed to do, like all in life in general. But
You mean the company you're with?
the company, the company I'm with, and because like being in contracts and procurement and negotiating, like a lot of times, like me, not a lawyer, I'm negotiating with legal teams from other companies.
Yeah.
Right.
And they want to quibble over what the definition of services means or scope means. And these are things, and I'm like, is this really
Oh yeah.
what I'm doing?
Yeah,
like
man.
I'm spending.
People have built their entire careers on defining words within contracts. It's wild.
And to an extent, like I get it. Like, you know, like
I do. Only because we live in the litigious society that we live.
Right,
But
exactly.
it doesn't have to be this way.
right, and it's just like, and yeah, and so like I was like, I mean, I wake up and I spend my day arguing with other grown ass men about what words mean, and that gets real depressing.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like there, you know, there's like the job's not all bad. Obviously, like there's some good stuff, and like I really like the people that I work with. Like it's a good environment. But when it comes down to actual like job satisfaction of like doing my job, like, it pales in comparison. And then I think unfortunately my problem is that I think any job is going to pale in comparison to that.
Exactly. I mean, there's nothing that's going to compare to you flying a freaking helicopter. Like that's. I'm sorry.
Right.
I can't imagine anything much better than that. So I have another client. He's actually one of my newer clients who's a private jet pilot.
Oh, you told me about that.
awesome.
Yeah, so he flies private. He flies, you know, the like businessmen and all kinds of stuff to like these short, like the smaller jets, like the like Tony Stark kind of shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool. He tells me some stuff, and he's just like, it's just so badass, so cool. But yeah, there's nothing that
like
beats
it,
that. That's so cool.
And just and like you say, all the nice because I work for like a Fortune 5 company, and so like all the DE&I stuff and like all the extracurricular, like which like it's all good and well, but like I feel like sometimes we have to spend so much time on
Bullshit.
it. That it's just like I remember talking to my boss one time who's like a minority woman. Like unfortunately we have a really good relationship, and and she like just has asked me point blank like how I feel about like some of that stuff or whatever. And I'm like, look, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. Like a waste of time.
bunch of
Like,
food.
I was like, especially at work, like who gives a shit?
Yes.
What you do, who you are, like I care about you as a person.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Why do we talk about this?
Yeah. And like I don't really care what else you do wherever. Like, can you do your job? Can you help me do my job? Can I help you do your job? Can we work together? You know what I mean?
Everything else doesn't matter.
Can we get this shit done? And like I'm gonna treat you no different especially because like in my perfect world I wouldn't even know all the other stuff. Like like, I know you at work. We get the stuff done. And like and I get all that informs quote unquote how you are and who you are as a person. But like we spend so much time on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't need that much.
Yeah. It's like look, like there was when I was in the Army, there was a company commander, and he had a phrase. His phrase was "Be a good bro," and he was.
I love that.
And it was hilarious because
that's the name. That's this one. Be a good bro.
Be a good bro.
I love that.
And it made so much sense. And I used that to like when I had like new lieutenants come in. I would kind of teach them that. And I was like, look, because this guy, he wasn't a bad commander, but he wasn't the best.
Right.
Like he wasn't the greatest commander, but that guy got where he wanted to go because he was a good bro. Like if somebody asked for help, boom, he was there. He was there to support, help, whatever.
Yes.
And he did his job adequately. Like you can't fail your job and just be a good bro.
Yeah.
But it's like I've taken that and like look, like most people are like don't worry about being perfect at your job. Like try to be. Try to get better and better. But you're a good bro, people will remember that.
Yes.
And people will treat you better, remember you better, and help you get where you want to get. If you're just a good bro.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about work. Like
I love that.
all that DE&I stuff, all that diversity stuff, like
just be a good bro.
Just be a good bro.
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah, it's so funny to hear you say that because the company, we don't have to name names, but the company you work for is far more conservative than the company I work for, and it's the amount of time that we spend going into detail on that kind of stuff. It's like I saw a really interesting clip, and I think it was a couple of years ago, and it was this guy interviewing Morgan Freeman, and he was talking about like race and all this stuff. He's like, because Morgan Freeman thinks the whole like race conversation, it's all bullshit. And he's like, so how do you think we improve race relations? Stop talking about it.
I've seen that.
Like instead of you addressing me as a black man and I addressing you as a white man, right? He said, I can't remember the guy's name. He's like, I know you as Mike, you know me as Morgan.
Yeah.
That's it. We're just two bros.
Yeah, we need to know more than that.
Be a good bro.
Yeah.
I love that, dude. I'm so glad you said that. That's fantastic.
We have to steal that.
I am.
Oh, go for it.
We will.
I've been using it for years.
You stole it from. He probably got it from someone else.
Yeah, because it made so much sense.
It makes absolute sense.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I mean, and actually, at the
That's something we
core
preach.
I was gonna say at the core of this podcast is
Be a good bro.
Be a good bro.
Yeah, man. So on that note, it's a good segue. So when you put in context of your coaching business, obviously he's not doing it full time, right? He's got his other job going. Do you ever see yourself going into like doing the coaching, being to do it full time? Because you can own that and that's yours, and you can absolutely be a good bro and own it, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever see that happening in the future? Would you want that to happen?
It depends. It really, like any good business answer, it depends. I think it's a lot dependent on how I do it and like what I think my chances of success are.
Okay,
in a sense. And to that point is so I'm married now again.
She's great.
For the same time,
We love her. She's fantastic.
Love you, Jewel.
Jewel, you're awesome.
You sound amazing.
Oh, and congrats to her on her new whip too.
Oh yeah.
Bro, she got a brand new BMW. Which one was it? Was it the 750 or whatever?
Some two-door fast.
Is it two-door?
Two-door,
Yeah.
purple.
It's
badass. I'm sure it's amazing, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna already have my favorite.
Oh, for sure. Same. Yeah.
Sorry.
Love Jewel, but does not compare to what else is in your driveway.
Again, you sound amazing. The car sounds great.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be biased.
So anyway, we always like to do the shout out to the wives because the wives make the man. We're pretty firm believers in that.
Yeah.
And she's great. Jewel's great.
And she is. And so
Definitely good bros.
definitely good. Yeah. and so obviously like now kind of into my planning of what I want to do or what I can't, because even with Jewel and I, like we've been talking constantly over like probably the past year and a half or so of like is where we're at, because we both work for the same company. Are we going to stay? What are we going to?
Yeah. What's the next plan? Yeah.
Are we going to do something else or whatever? And so we've talked about like, hey, like when do you jump ship? When do you try to change something, do something different? And so one is obviously having a plan. You don't want because again, the company we work for is a good company. It pays us well.
Yeah.
Like the work-life balance is great, and so you don't want to just jump just because you're like, oh, I think I want to try something else. Like,
Right.
So you want to try to set it up to where you can go. And I think it would be nice at some point to have that be part of something that I do, like either training or coaching or even like a gym or something like that.
And we talked about that. Mm-hmm.
But I think not unfortunate, but like, as you guys know, like any sort of like physical fitness or like lifting type or related thing is very up and down.
Oh, absolutely.
Very cyclical,
Yeah, very cyclical. Like if the economy's not doing great,
it's a luxury.
Not doing great.
Yeah, right. It's a luxury.
Right. And so it's like, it's not a, so
it's not oil and gas.
So it's not oil and gas. Yeah. Which oil and gas is cyclical as well, but way more solid than the fitness industry.
Yeah.
And so, so I think I wouldn't want that to be all that I do.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But if it was part of what I did,
you're cool with it.
I'd be cool with it. And that's why I keep doing it for like, I've got like 3 guys that I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing it. And like the guy we were talking about earlier, like there's 2 out of the 3 don't even pay me. Like I just do it because they're good friends.
Yeah.
And and there's no reason to charge them, because like I'm not like a super professional trainer or whatever. Like I know how to like program somebody.
Yeah,
But
Right.
There's no, but anyway, like, it would be good to get to the point where I could do that more. It would just depend on a lot of other things.
Yeah, right,
So,
gotcha.
and then part of that's like security for not just
Right.
myself, but also Jewel as well,
Yeah,
and like
yep.
what we're planning to do,
Right.
whatever that happens to be.
Right.
And so,
Yeah, so you got to define that first.
Right.
So once you define, okay, what are our goals that we want to accomplish as a family, and then you say, okay, how do I make the rest of my life kind of do that? Because you have to make the priorities, right?
Yeah.
No, so that's good. Okay, so let me ask you this, and it's something that I've been like itching to kind of get to, because again, our biggest thing is centered around men's mental health and being able to be a good bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be a good bro. Be a good bro to your fellow bros, right?
Yeah.
So we've been using this. I don't know how many of the episodes you've seen in the past, but it's very much like, we're here to kind of open up and release whatever's going on like in our life. And we had the last episode got pretty deep
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
so that'll come out before this. So it's I had a breakdown. Anyway, so what are the kinds of things that you're dealing with? This year has been pretty tumultuous for you.
yeah.
So like this, I know you struggle. You have some depression. You struggle with some depression. When did you first notice that like was a big player in your life?
I mean, probably towards the end of my military career. So probably probably mid 20 teens.
Okay. Was it situational? Did something occur?
I think it was somewhat situational, but I think it was more build up.
Okay.
To be honest, just from the way I've described it before, I feel like my 20s were kind of shit. Like some really good things happened to them, but
Right.
like also some not so good things
Yeah.
happened.
Right.
And so I think it was kind of a culmination of a lot of different things, and then going through just getting out of the Army and doing those things at the time. And I mean, even at that time, I'd only been divorced a few years. So and we had a daughter. So I have a daughter, Emery, and she, so she's only 3-4 years old at that time, and so it was just a lot of stuff all at once. And the transition was a little rough. Like it was good. But it was a little rough.
Yeah, it sounds like it happened way better than it could have.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It definitely.
The Masters, I think, was a good choice.
Yeah, going to school was definitely a good kind of like decompression period.
Yeah.
But there is one of which feels so not weird to say, but kind of weird. Not that it's wrong or anything, but like it's a lot of survivor's guilt in a sense, because
Interesting.
I still have friends that are in, still have friends that are still losing friends.
Yeah.
Even though there's not like a ton going on, still happens. And sometimes it's just training accidents. So there's this group, battalion, that's run by a friend of mine. They have a pretty big presence on social media and stuff, but they have a 501c or whatever, like a charity, nonprofit that raises money for the families of those who like killed in like training accidents or more, really anything.
Yeah,
but specifically for aviators, but like a lot of over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of training accidents.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's their name? We'll give them a shout out.
So it's Brotalion, Spencer Payne.
Brotalion?
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. So he, really good friend.
Yeah. Shout out to Brotalion for what you guys are doing. That's badass.
Good old Smokey.
That's what's up.
Yeah, no, it's some really cool stuff. But I don't know, it feels being out and just disconnected from so obviously I still have friends that are in and friends that are connected.
Yeah. And you still talk to them.
Yeah, you still talk to them, but I'm not in there and and then when you hear even if I've been fortunate that none of my close friends they're all still good and living and going and stuff, but when you even people you hear of people that you knew, they die either in action or in an accident or something like that, and it's even though I have no reason in one sense to feel survivor's guilt, but I also feel in a sense that I didn't get a chance to help. In a sense, I know it's a very non-logical thought process, but it's almost I
get it.
You wish you could help,
right?
And it's kind of if I would have been there, things would have been different. Probably not.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, for sure.
Like you
would at least be more of a part of it.
Yeah. And so like I know, and that I know, especially in the medevac world, like a lot of people get deal with that because like you'll hear of like on Fort Carson one time there was a in the training area there's kind of like this ravine, and on the sides of the ravine is like really high cliffs. And one night there was a unit up there, and they were like bivouacking, like camping out up there, and there was a striker unit, and they were backing up one of the strikers, and it went backwards off the cliff.
Damn.
And like 8 dudes in it killed them.
Damn.
Like and then so and our like I was actually on duty that night, not medevac duty, but I was on like staff duty.
Right.
So I got the call, and so like I have to call my own company and like alert them.
Yeah.
Like, and
they gotta
give
go
them a heads
do
up
this,
ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like that. And what's crazy is the reason I knew ahead of time before I even got the call, it was on the news first. We hadn't even heard yet.
Wow.
I saw it on the news. There was some news copter flying around, so I gave them a heads up. Hey,
Wow.
this is what's going on.
Yeah.
They responded, but at the time there's this weird thing where like there was a civilian contract for medevac on post, because at the time people were with deployments and everything like that. They're like, hey, if you're a medevac, because it used to be the actual Army medevac would provide medevac for the post,
Right.
like stateside.
Yeah.
Right.
But with so many deployments and everything, they contracted it out to like Care Flight,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And so like our guys were in the air like immediately,
Yeah.
like go and headed out there, and they literally had to like go away
Wow.
so that the Care Flight could come in. And like these birds can take like 2 people at a time.
Oh,
where, like,
wow.
our birds can take 8 to 11. at a
That's
time.
wild, man.
Wow.
And it's like,
Priorities, guys.
Yeah.
Like what?
and it's one of those things where it's like you're like, obviously like I was like tangentially part of it just because I'm passing information.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you get
You feel so out of control.
And like the guys that were in the bird, like they could see the guys on the ground
Damn.
being like, they could tell that they were angry.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't land.
Yeah.
And they had to fly off, and it's like
They could feel abandoned, like,
Yeah.
and that.
Yeah.
you've been given an order, like you cannot go in and do that, and it's just like, and so whenever you hear those, it's like you almost feel guilty for like not helping more, or
Yeah,
not
man.
help, or that you weren't part of it, even if you weren't, like for me now, especially like I'm thousands of miles away from
Yeah.
where it's going on.
Yeah, and you're not in the know.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going on at that point in time.
Yeah, and so it's hard to get away from that mindset.
Yeah.
For sure.
A little bit. And
Definitely.
So that's always been the ones that stuck.
Are there any other triggers that occur in your life that are outside of that just kind of really that just really make you, because I know him. I know you shell up, right? You shell up and you kind of distance yourself. Do you have any instances that causes you to do that?
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, really, a lot of stuff to do with my daughter.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
Yeah. So like my my ex is like to the point to this day won't talk to me, won't even look me in the eyes, won't talk to Jewel. Like when Jewel like reached out to try to like, hey, can we talk about Emery? She turns 13 next month.
Yeah,
so it's
a lot going on.
She's a teenager, about to be a teenager. Like, hey, stepmom, mom, can we talk? And she's like, I can't. No, sorry. And then obviously in the times that since we've been divorced, it's just she's been difficult to deal with in regards to my daughter, and then just kind of general feeling like I'm missing out. Like, like she.
Same kind of thing with the military stuff. You're just
Yeah.
missing out, dude.
Yeah.
God, yes.
And so that gets to me. I mean, it's fortunately as Emery's gotten older and we can like talk more and better,
She can communicate to you better.
Communicate better.
Yeah.
It's been easier, a little bit easier, because then we can. Then since I've moved back to Houston, I've been able to have her for like the summers. So I get her for like 6 weeks out of the summer, which I've never been able to do before because with the military, like always moving around or having to go to training out here for a month or whatever, just never having that stable time where I could have her.
And for clarity, where is she?
She's in Idaho.
She's in Idaho.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like northern Idaho, to the point where like they're so out in the boonies, like they don't deliver mail out there.
Yeah.
Like, she is
Wild.
way out there.
Off
Like they're
grid.
kind of like homesteading type stuff. Like they've got a community around them. They're not by themselves, but
But still,
they're way out there.
that's nuts.
They're like a couple hours from the Canadian border.
Oh, wow.
That's nuts, dude. That's nuts.
Yeah, so don't get to see her that often. But getting her for like that summer helps a whole lot. But and what I'll notice, like for me, like the reason how I know like I get into that stage is like I literally like I have like no emotion, like I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
And that's like I've fortunately through the years I've been able to recognize that and learn that as like, oh, okay,
that's a signal. Yeah.
That's a signal that something's going on, because it's like I'll feel fine.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. And then other people looking in are like, oh, you're like, what's up, dude? Like,
Like Jewel will be like, something's off. I'm like, nothing's off.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no, it is.
But she'll like tell me something where I have like no emotional reaction. Like I can't, like I can, it's like I can almost feel my emotions.
Yeah.
And it's just like locked out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
And it's, it's
God, dude,
kind of crazy to people.
Dude, it's tough. That's tough, man. And it goes back to some of the stuff we've talked about before about just men being taught to bury it, and it's like a subconscious thing that occurs, and you just bury it down there. You don't feel anything, and then, you know, if you even get to the point where you deal with it later, it's so much more exacerbated than it had to be, right? And that's so tough, and it's tough for our loved ones to deal with it too.
Yeah.
Well, and Julia, I've talked about it a lot, because like, she's mentioned where she'll say oh, you know, we're a team or whatever. I'm like I hear you. And it's great. Like, and obviously I'm trying to work towards that. But I was like, sometimes the way I react isn't because I'm not thinking about you, or is it because I'm not trying to include you.
Yeah, it's not about you.
It's just like I've been doing things by myself, expecting no help for so long that's kind of still how I operate.
Right.
Like I don't, or I assume you don't want to be involved. Right. It's like something that's semi-difficult, or I might have heard you say something at one point.
Yeah.
And so I take it as X, where she's actually not so staunch on that position as I thought.
Yeah.
And so it's when you're used to doing things by yourself for so long, it's like you say, like you're supposed to you bury it because like there's nothing else to do with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like no one's listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
if you're out there are people that are listening. If you're in that kind of position, and it's really hard, and to your point, you don't even always recognize that you're in that kind of position. If there are people that are around you that you love and that you trust that are telling you something's off, something's probably off. And you, as hard as it is to accept that they're right, because that's really hard to do, especially in those moments. It's really hard to trust that. They're probably right, and you should probably get help, or you should talk to someone, whatever.
Yeah, or at least take a look. Like,
at least take a look and really evaluate how you feel and where you're at. That's really important to do.
Yeah.
That's good. Cool. All right. Well, I think it's a good place.
Yeah, I think so.
Place to stop. Yeah. Hey, how do you feel?
Good.
We're good?
Good.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming to the bar.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Thanks you guys.
Thanks for the cookies and the...
Yeah, man.
Who
Cookies and milk
want
and
to come by
whiskey.
for cookies and whiskey? I mean, it's like a bro Santa Claus.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro Santa. Yeah, bro
Claus.
Santa Claus.
Bro Claus.
Yeah, it's about being a good bro.
Yeah, be a good bro.
Be a good bro.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate you coming.
Yeah,
Appreciate you guys
Thank y'all for coming out.
Thanks.
Y'all
Come
have a
back
good day.
again. Did I pour a smaller pour for me?
I don't know.
Or did I just drink that?
I think you did.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah, I think...
Oh, there it is.
Because I was like,
noticed the
that
same
went
thing.
by really fast. Yeah.